Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Banana.
Da
Banana.
da 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 da.
And if you could find them, hire the A team. That we're doing, right? You're the A team theme.
Yeah.
I mean, that
well,
sounds good to me.
This
This is
is
totally
this is
different.
nuts. Welcome to Here Be Dragons.
Welcome to chaos.
I guess this season is going to test all of our patience.
What's
Taste
it
our
taste like,
patience.
Jared?
Yeah,
It's a sour.
what
It's
does
a
it
very.
taste like?
Patience taste.
It's a very sour dad joke flavor right now, but hopefully it gets better. I'm Jared. We have Nathan, Lauren, another Jared, Lindsay, Austin, and Glenn here. We have a big party. So this is
Hey.
session 0. We're getting into it. We'll have some overtalk. It'll be nuts. It'll be mayhem, just like season 1. If you want to think all the way back to that, like 3 years ago.
wow.
So
That was pretty chemical.
I saw a clip from season 1, just like part of a video the other day, and I actually kind of like cringed. I was like, this hurts.
I mean, if you go back and look, all of our names were like smashed off to one side, and the audio sounded like it was coming from a shoebox across
And
the
I
room.
was so sketch.
True.
Like I was like sitting there moving and not looking at the like. It was bad. It was bad.
Lindsay sitting there. They've got me to play D&D. They've got me to play D&D. I don't know what to do with myself. And now, 7th season, and she's still here. We're gonna kick this off, having a little fun tonight. We've got sponsors. They're in the links below. You don't see them on screen. Take a look. They're a bunch of great groups and individuals doing some wonderful things around the D&D community and nerd communities. We've got dice, we've got apps, we've got coffee, and all sorts of trinkets and things galore. So take a look. The links are below. The links are also, I believe, on our social and through our little like About Us page on Instagram. The link that you can add there. There's stuff. Look it all up. It's there. We're here to play D&D. We're gonna do some session 0. You're gonna learn about our characters. We're gonna learn about our characters. It'll be a fun
It's
time.
true.
So pull up your carpet squares, sit down, relax, enjoy your glass of wine on your carpet square. Yes.
Don't
Yes.
spill it
Or-
on the carpet.
I
I won't
mean,
spill it. Put a
Whatever you
sippy top
happen to
on it.
have.
Put a sippy top
I'm
on
really
it.
confused at our age range here. Are we in kindergarten with the carpet squares, or are we?
All
With the
ages.
That's the whole
All
point.
ages.
The whole point.
What
We
is it?
stashed our juice boxes for a handful of months, and we've got carpet square wine going on.
I have to be honest. A friend of mine that happened to, not like juice box. It was a grape soda, and it apparently had like got a hole in or something coming from the factory and had fermented on the way to high school, and it was straight vinegar by the time it got there. It was. I didn't try it, but rumor has it was horrendous.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, with
So-
that wonderful note in the back of your mind, we go
Yeah,
into
there you go.
the setup to our story here. On the world, the plane of Near, in the centralmost island, there's a lake that was fabled to be an epicenter of power years and years and years ago. Today, it just is an epicenter of odd stories. Each of our party members has gotten an invitation, mostly in an unknown fashion. They found it in their bag, it was sitting on their pillow, but they don't know where it came from. And this invitation had said, "Great riches, great power, and fame await you at the center of the island." And there was a small map, and the map led our party to this lake. Now, the lake was a couple hours travel from any major city, and there was one small town that sat just outside of the lake area, probably about 10 minutes from the shores. The party, as they had all individually made their way to this location, would notice as they approached the lake, there's a bunch of different rowboats scattering the shores of this lake. In the center of the lake, there's a small island, very oval shaped, with a bit of dense wood on it. The island couldn't have been more than about 500 feet in any direction across, but it was still a few thousand feet to row out there. Each of the rowboats had a small emblem, a little red dragon head, somewhere on the seat or on the front of the boat. And from the shores in the evening, on one side of this little island, you could see a few lights glowing from what seems to be a small shop or tavern that sat on the island. Now, there's a rickety bridge that went straight from the south side of the island to the south bay of the lake, and it could be walked across just quite nicely, very, very unsteadily at points, but it would get most shapes, sizes, and weights across unless you decided to bring a whole wagon or horse or bovine with. So it was not a easy journey to get to this lake and to the center where their invitation had set them up. Now, approaching this little place that they had been told to go to stood an old inn. The inn looked like it had been well traveled years and years ago, and it seemed like a road ran straight in front of it, but then just kind of dipped down into the water of the lake. So something had happened to cause this inn to stand alone in the midst of the water here. Now, it was early evening, and an old bartender was taking care of the inn and was delivering a couple drinks to the couple patrons that are in there. There were a couple boats that were set outside that the patrons had taken to get to the inn. And as the door opens, a new patron walks in. A turtle swings the door wide and is the first of our party to make it in to the invitation. The innkeeper looks up. "Oh, hey, you're new around here. Welcome. I don't see that you're too wet. You must have made it across on a boat or the bridge. Fine, but if you did end up in the pond, there's some towels over there." And he points to a small stack of towels by the door.
I can walk on water.
"Oh, that's quite interesting. You'd have to show me in the daylight. That's fascinating." And in the corner, the two elderly gentlemen that had just gotten their beer cheer and go, "Hey, hey," and they clash their steins together. The two men look very, very weathered and scarred. And as you catch their eye, they kind of look you up and down and mutter to one another. "Oh, I thought there was going to be younger adventurers than this, but okay." And the barkeep just kind of waves at them like, quiet down. And barkeep turns to the turtle and asks, "Sir, do you need anything to drink while you wait for the rest of your party?"
I am parched for some water.
"Well, take a seat. I'll get some out to you very quickly." And he hustles to the back and looks for a glass to pour some water in.
Mm-mm.
Turtle, sir, do you look for a seat? Do you just hang out and wait for your glass of water to arrive? How do you
Probably
enter this room?
I probably try and peruse the room for any sort of small living creatures. And if I do find a little insect or a mouse, I try and have a little chat with it.
As you look around, there is a small hole in the wall on the far side of the bar that seems to have had some rodent activity not too long ago. Based on your knowledge of creatures, you would have guessed that there's most likely a rat or a mouse that had come through here in the last day. But you don't see one actively.
If that's the case, I just settle into a probably larger seat, as I know my weight. I'm pushing 500 pounds because I'm a giant turtle, a turtle,
Yeah.
as it were.
I mean-
So I just test it a little bit before I sit on it.
All of the seats are pretty sturdy here. There's nicks and gouges in them as if weaponry had kind of caused a little bit of havoc here and there from bar fights or from adventurers just coming on through. Very sturdy oak for most of the seating. There is one chair off to the side that's very small and slender and fairly tall, as if it was built for a smaller creature to sit at one of the larger tables. That would probably not even fit your torso to sit in it, and your weight probably wouldn't be held up by it. But there is a few small chairs, but most are steady for your size. And as you take a seat,
Sturdiest one.
there you go. As you take a seat, the door swings open again, and an awkward-shaped man kind of fumbles their way in. A little bit of a light green face and the trench coat dragging a little bit on the ground. And the barkeep walks out and hands a glass of water to the turtle. Oh, good to see you here as well. Did you get the invitation?
Yeah, adventure and rich. Haha.
Oh, well, you may take a seat. Do you need anything to drink?
A big beer, please.
Okay, I'll go get that for you. And the barkeep uneasily steps behind the bar and pulls a large stein out and begins filling it. And it takes a couple moments to fill. And he has to carry it over with two hands and sets it down on the table in front of... What's your name, sir? I need to check it off on the list.
Dave, big man.
The barkeep turns his head a little bit in surprise and looks down and then tries not to laugh as he sees literally Dave Big Man as one of the people on his list. Well, Dave Big Man, welcome. If you need anything else, just let me know. I've got some kitchen staff that'll be showing up shortly to make some dinner, but I can serve you some small like breads or cheeses if you need while you wait.
You hear bartender staring directly at Dave, but here's kind of like, you know, when your stomach grumbles, but like real loud, and you hear like coming from, and then cheese is good, thanking, and he like picks up this beer and starts to like awkwardly drink it, and like clearly some of it's running down his chest. He's very gangly with his limbs, and so it much looks like he's a 6 foot tall 8 man, but he only weighs like maybe 130.
8 man?
Yeah, 6 foot tall 8 man.
6'8".
6'8". He's a 6 foot 8 tall 8 man. Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
He's like a wiry dude.
All right. The barkeep just shakes his head in disbelief. Excuse me, Mr. Turtle. I didn't get your name. Can I get that for my records here? Yes. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, there is an here. Well, thank you. And you see the barkeep walk over to the bar and just like kind of he walks away before you even get that up in the air. And you see him just kind of toss his list up on the bar, and you hear you probably hear some murmuring, a couple swears under his breath. Oh, damn! What did they get me into this time? Oh, the two men off in the corner are just laughing and chugging their beer. Oh, we need another one over here, sir. And the barkeep goes over and starts filling a few more beers. The door swings open again, and a pair of satyrs step through.
As the door opens,
Okay.
there is a billowing of the cloak behind me, just and lights flash everywhere.
They're crystals and they're different colors and they rotate.
Top of the time of day to everyone here.
Is it adventure time?
God.
Oh yeah.
The two men in the corner are staring with their jaws dropped, the empty pints in their hands, and they're like elbowing each other. It's a magic show. Yeah, a magic show. Yes, 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 yes. And they fist bump, and they're getting all psyched, and they're old adventurers. So as they fist bump, you hear their knuckles crack, and one goes, "Oh, injury. Remember that one? Oh." And they're just sitting there, and they're like giddy children at this point. Barkeep walks in, or walks over and drops the drinks off, and walks up to both of you, and has the list in front of him. Okay, you can take a seat anywhere. I think we've got a few more of your parties showing up. What are your names that I may make sure that you're here for the event?
Oh, how do you do? My name's Snick.
And I'm Zoe.
It's spelled with an I, though nobody knows why.
Cause my mom spelled it with an I.
But I still don't understand. I've already seen it with an E.
Yep, got you here. Anything to drink?
Oh, what do you want? What do you want? We can whatever you want.
I'll take a sparkling water with lemon, please.
How are they supposed to make it sparkle?
If you can't, I can.
I've
Well,
got a
sure,
little
she's got
glitter
a
in the
glitter.
back.
I don't know. What?
It's perfect.
Okay, glitter water with lemon. Okay, and for you, Snick.
I like surprises. Surprise me.
All right,
But don't do anything that I could guess.
nothing that you can
Yeah?
guess, huh? Okay. And
Okay, but also I don't want any glitter.
okay, no glitter, but you won't be able to guess this one. And he walks back and kind of ducks behind the bar, and you hear some rustling in there. And then you see a puff of glitter come up over the bar. Yep, there it is. And he walks out with a very glittery glass of water and a lemon cut in half and just kind of stuck on it. Not as nice as like a lemon wedge, but literally like what you'd see a strawberry on a drink. But there's your lemon. The other drink comes out and it's in a small wooden cup. It's very, very not pungent, but sharp to the nose. You might be able to guess that there's some hints of alcohol and potentially some fruit in there, but it's very different in smell. And it's a small cup, only a couple ounces. And he looks at Snick. Well, you said you want something you won't be able to guess. Good luck with this one. Let me know if you have any thoughts on the mixture once you're done.
Like, I just want to make sure you're not like punking me with dishwater or nothing, are you? Like, this is all drinkable.
Oh, it is very drinkable. It's no dishwater. It's nothing that I wouldn't serve to a patron.
Well, then, wonderful. And I take a drink.
As you take a drink, it tastes as if your mouth almost had caught fire, and underneath that, you get like a smoky and very, very tangy sensation, but then it's followed by a very hoppy bitterness. It, to all intents and purposes, it's kind of coming off as like you had a shot of whiskey followed by a beer, but there's something in between you can't put your nose on.
Like flaming oranges.
Something like that.
Leaving rum.
Barman. Yes. Sounds good. One dishwater. Here. Sounds delicious.
Dishwater or what I just served? Snick.
No dishwater. Sound great.
And he steps back into the back, and you just hear like some pots and pans hit the floor as if he purposefully just knocked some stuff off of the countertop. And
Yes.
you hear a few like scrubbing sounds for a moment as if he's making some fresh dishwater for you. And as that's all going on, the door opens again, and a cat-like figure steps in. And the barkeep comes out, his hand a bit sudsy, and sets a glass down in front of Dave Big Man that is foamy at the top and smells as if it might have had some grease or something kind of rimming the edge there from whatever was floating in the dishwater.
Oh yeah, thanking. Be thanking. Yes.
Okay, you enjoy that. Oh, excuse me, miss. Welcome. Can I get you anything to drink? And I'm sure you have the invitation, correct?
Yeah.
Is that a yes to a drink or a yes to an invitation?
Yes.
Okay, well, in that case, what can I get you to drink? And may I have your name, please?
Not that. Something
Is it
Good.
milk? She gonna go with milk?
And you need my name?
Yes, we're making sure all of our invitations were received by the proper people.
Well, my name is Katniss Neverseen, but most people just call me Bootsy.
Well, okay. We have a Bootsy Katniss Neverseen right here. Mm-hmm. Yep, I've got you here. Is there any restriction on what you want to drink? We have broken half of the cast here with just the introductions, and that's why we have a session 0. Oh man.
Jared's crying.
I can't even, guys. I thought I was going to be the most ridiculous one.
Oh man.
God.
I think
You know
they
what's
all
sad?
knew that
I
was-
thought you were too. When we started planning this, I thought you were going to be the most ridiculous. I was wrong.
I'm quickly thinking this might only be a session 0 at this rate. Oh my. Just kidding. We've got like 5 or 6 more of these. Buckle in, folks. Yeah. So, the barkeep just looks down at his paper and shakes his head. Well, if you don't have any preference, I've got a fresh batch of ale that has just come in. Would you like some of that?
Yes.
Okay, well, I will be back with that in just a minute. And he goes and pours a pint and sets it down in front of Katniss, or Bootsy, I should say. Here you go, Miss Bootsy. Do you need anything else? He looks side to side as if he's thoroughly confused as to what's going on. The 2 men in the corner are literally crying into their beers out of laughter, as this is one of the best adventuring parties they've seen, I guess, at this point.
Do you think I need something else?
All right, enjoy. And he quickly
Get her
hustles
a
off.
ball of yarn! Get her a ball of yarn!
At this point, the people or the party members who have come and sat in the bar are at individual tables, but all within basically conversation earshot of one another. The bar isn't too large, and as the barkeep hustles back over to the bar, the door swings open one final time, and 2 shields kind of awkwardly move in through the door as the door frame's not too wide. And a man behind pops his head up over the shields. Hello, sir. Please tell me your name, and I'll make sure to bring you a drink. Take a seat anywhere. Please don't be ridiculous. Please don't be ridiculous. Oh, he mutters under his breath, attempted.
The water is very cold out there.
Yes, just tea, thank you. The tower. And he starts to awkwardly put one of the shields, the one on his right arm, he starts to try and put it on his back. And it starts to buzz, kind of against his metal. So the shield is buzzing and his metal is and he's trying to put it on his shoulder.
To most people, that would sound not just like a buzz, but almost like a purring sound as it rumbles on the armor.
Yes, rumble, that's a good word. And he's just going to sit at the bar. He's not going to look for a table. He's just going to go to the bar and just...
I'll get that pot of tea started. And the tower, I've got you here. For clarity, as you had mentioned, the water was quite cold. Does that mean that you had swum through it, or did you fall into it? How wet are you in this bar?
Well, he's not soaking wet. He didn't swim it.
But the boat that I was in was... Well, the waves were a little high, and some managed to get into the boat, and on a night like this, those waves get a little chilly. Especially when you're wearing, and he kind of gestures, all of this. It's not very warm when it gets cold.
The barkeep...
The armor and stuff that he's wearing.
Oh, man. The barkeep snaps his fingers, and a mage hand comes over from by the door and just kind of drops a towel on the bar right next to you. And
Brilliant.
he kind of shakes his head as he goes to the back, and you hear a sound of some metal clanking about, and it seems that he's starting your tea and getting some water hot for you. And as he steps out into the room, he looks down his list. It seems that there were a few here that didn't make it in their travels, I guess. 2 died, 1 returned, 1 just never heard from. I guess this is it. Well, other than the 2 jokesters over there, this is the adventuring party, and I've invited you here to seek riches, to gain fame and wealth. There's some fun that happens back behind the bar, and well, every handful of years, gateway opens into a deep fey realm. That's why I need you here.
Hey! Oh, that would be just wonderful. We've been looking for that sort of opportunity, yeah.
Well, I hope you don't mind an opportunity where you may not come back. And if you do come back, your mind will not be the same. Is that all right with all of you?
I mean, I might be better off that way.
I mean,
But we be rich, right?
You will be incredibly rich. There's
Want
plenty
3
of things.
houses. Want to buy 3 houses.
yeah, we're actually looking for a house too. Do you know if they've got good real estate on the other side of that little portal thingy?
Oh, maybe neighbors.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I bring dishwater. I brew dishwater. Bring over. It's fun. It's so fun.
I'm imagining this being said, and a bubble just kind of forms and floats out of Dave Bigman's mouth there.
Ew, David. There's
Whether
not.
my services are required, that is where I shall go.
Well, we better make this quick because there's not enough whiskey in this bar to let me to assist me in presenting your opportunities for the travel. And the barkeep steps behind the bar, pours a shot, and just downs it quick. Whew. The 2 old men in the corner begin laughing. Oh man, we've never seen a group so strange as this one. This is gonna be good. And then one of the 2 guys gets up and he hobbles over to the bar and sits down next to Tower and looks at him. And as he looks over at the Tower, you see that he's got a big scar across his face. He's missing an eye. He's got scars everywhere across his body, like this man has seen more than enough battle. And as he grins, he's missing a few teeth, and he looks at you. So, Tower, are you going to go into that deep realm, and are you gonna make it out alive? I don't see any weapons on you. Are you just gonna push things around? Don't they call you the shovel?
Well, if I push things around, that would be very apt. You, sir, you look like you've been around a time or two in a situation like this. So I'm sure you can appreciate that, when you step into something like this, you don't really know what the end result will be. I do aim to come out alive, as one does in all situations. But like you, I'm sure you can appreciate that it will probably take some creative thinking in order to really succeed.
Yes. I just never used a shield in battle. That explains it. But whatever.
That does explain a lot. I feel like it could have been very beneficial to you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Especially with that dragon and all. But
Yes.
I'd be happy to hear your stories if you make it out. So
We will be sure to swap some tales. Not literal tales. That might, unless you have, that would get weird. You know what? I'm just gonna have some tea.
Humans don't have tails, big man says.
the The
Is that
old
your mouse
man,
moving? You know who said it?
walks back to his booth, and most of you can kind of hear a mumble. I've got 3 gold on the big guy, and 1 gold that at least one of the 2 whippersnappers doesn't come back. Oh yeah, I'll take you up on that bet.
Do they have drinks on their table?
They do.
One of their drinks falls over.
Oh,
Well, that's
come
what they
on.
see.
Come on, man. You got to be careful. I didn't do it. Come on. Barkeep, we need a few more.
And as he walks up, the other glass comes to the edge and falls off.
Barkeep, this table, it's possessed or something. We need a new one.
It's like a
And-
cat. Like it's
Just pat across. Yeah. And with the couple beers down, the 2 jokesters in the back are just grinning and laughing still, even though their drinks have been spilled for now.
Every time they get about halfway through their beer, I want to knock it over again.
Wow. Well, that's what you get.
that's the most cat thing that you have done to date.
That's what you get when you give Mage Hand Ledgermane to a cat, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, folks. We're in for it. So the barkeep is continuing to bring drinks out, and eventually, after a few drinks have hit the tables, he steps back out once more. I'm gonna need you to at least get acquainted with one another for a few minutes while I help on the dinner, and we'll bring that out shortly. If you need anything, just shout. You can call me Keeps or Barman, whatever you wish. The jokesters in the corner will tell you quite a few unsavory names to shout. Don't shout them. They're not fun. But I'll be out shortly, and enjoy. And he pushes back into the kitchen, and you begin to smell a bit of like meat cooking, and you hear a few different voices in the back, as if the kitchen staff had showed up and began cooking dinner for the night.
Is my tea out, or
Yeah.
am I still waiting on the tea?
Yeah, your
Okay.
tea had come out. Sorry, I didn't explicitly tell you.
No,
that
no,
your
it's
tea had
fine.
arrived.
It's fine. There's a lot happening.
Yeah,
Mainly
yeah.
cats pushing beer steins. So when the tea comes out, the tower's gonna take a sip, and then he's gonna sit down, take a deep sigh, pull a small bottle from like his sleeve, pour the contents in, put the sleeve back in, take the teacup, and just like turn and face everyone else there and just start sipping.
Just awkwardly staring everyone else
Just
down.
like, well, here we go.
So is it that the first name, Tower's the last name, or is it like the Tower, like hyphenated, one word? Is Tower the middle name? What were your parents
No, it's just that's
thinking?
a very fair question. I'm sure I will learn names as we go about. The tower is more of a nickname. There is a name, but the tower has always seemed easier for people to retain, and so that is having come by that nickname over years of work. This is just
why not
how I
just go-
find it easiest to introduce myself.
Why not just go with Keith? It's shorter.
You're right, Keith.
It's just one syllable. You don't need to say the tower.
5
If it's
letters.
about shortening things up and making it easier to remember, Keith.
Or Mr.
I
T.
will keep that in mind for the future. Sure, Mr. T. And he raises his teacup, if you like.
Oh man.
Okay. Question. And he, Dave looks kind of over at Zoe and tries to takes a second to remember, and says, "Why the tower? Which first name and human last name and middle name? Yeah."
Well,
And then
This
he
is only
mutters
one-
to himself and goes, "Yeah, good. Okay, good. Yeah, good job. Okay."
Talks down to his chest.
Zoe just shakes her head and then gets a mage hand, kicks up her feet, and has the mage hand feed her glitter water.
Wow, little bougie, are we?
A little. Hey, Snickle, look over at
Snickle.
Snickle. Look over at
Snickle?
Snickle.
Snickle.
So, Mr. Turtle friend, you're. All right. So you'll probably be at the back of the group then, yeah?
What's your average walking?
Or
Yeah.
the shell.
You're just gonna go into your shell?
Or the shell. It's a joke.
Oh, back shell. Got it. Takes
Oh, the shell of the group. No, I did get it. If he's gonna be at the back of the group, his back is a shell. He doesn't have a back, he's got a shell. We've got a back.
Quick
Technically, at the
one.
back, you've got the tail.
Well, I think the tail would be
The
more of
top.
an underneath
The
thing.
top would be the shell.
Well, no. The
I
back
just
is
wiggle
this
my
is
little
shell. This is the head.
Undertale. Stick it forward a little bit.
Yeah, now it's
Tail.
weird. No, it's like that's a weird. It's a. That's your tail, isn't it, Mr. Turtle?
Mm.
No further questions.
I have to ask: is the tower actually laughing at this point, or is it just Austin can't play the tower
Austin
while
is
he's around these
laughing.
people?
There is that. I feel like the tower would be chuckling. Like, so take this down a bit, and that's accurate.
This is why Glenn didn't speak in the entire preamble to the show, because he had to focus in on this.
Focus.
So
I am not a human. I do not have laughter. Nothing is funny. Is all he was telling himself before. Oh
just
man,
imagine
Just a
being
smile.
super old.
That's all he has.
And he's not. He's like the happiest old turtle is all you see, and he's just stoked to be there around all you youngsters.
I do
So,
find it interesting
riches.
that turtles don't live that long when
That's
turtles
what I was
do.
just thinking.
I
Mhm.
thought they lived for
Bit counterintuitive compared to tortoises that are land bound.
That's what I'm thinking. So, look, everybody here, I'm guessing you was brought along either as cannon fodder, so we're fine, or you have a bit of skill yourself. So what would that be if you did actually happen to have a bit of skill?
you did have skill.
Sure,
I
Keith,
happen
go.
to. Yes, Mr. T, if you would please. I
Still too
I happen
long.
to be rather partial to that one.
Yeah, but I'm talking syllables.
But it takes less
That
time
is-
to write it.
But we're talking. So if I'm writing him a note, I'll write Mr. T, but if I'm talking, I'll say Keith.
Mr. T.
Mert? There it is.
Carry on.
Perfect. Defense is mostly my area of expertise. I tend to protect parties such as yourselves or other things that need protecting. What do
A man
you
who doesn't.
do other than entertain, good sir?
Oh, I can do
Admittedly,
all
you are
sorts of
good at the
things.
entertaining part. I wasn't inquiring. I have no need of those services, sir. But
Well, now hold up. I'm spoken for there, mister. Now, even if you did want those services, we are so very, very much in love.
oh, of course. I'm sorry. That's definitely what I had in mind. Yep, that's what I thought that was. Uh-huh. Thank you, Turtle, for backing me up.
Definitely not human brother sisters. Yeah, definitely in love.
Yeah, totally not. That's
Definitely.
definitely not what's happening.
We have
Or maybe-
horns.
Or maybe human brother sisters. Dave, big man, not judge.
They could be
We're
from
not
the
related.
south.
We're a couple. of fine-looking satyrs we are. I can play the pipes and I can do magic and overall bring a good old jolly time.
I can play an instrument too.
Really?
I'm gonna remind myself which one as I go through me path.
So you just entertain then?
No.
Oh.
Well, I mean, look, I'm very light on my feet, as it were.
He's a pretty good boxer.
I get in and out of scenarios pretty quick.
You say light on your feet. I was assuming dancing, which could also.
I mean, I
The
am
turtle
pretty
just
good at
wanders
dancing.
up to you and starts like pillow boxing your midsection because he's only like 4.5 feet tall. He says, "Put him up."
I'm pretty sure I just definitely like my character is still talking to Keith, and and like, but my hands are just like wax on, wax off. Like every time the turtle does something, he's just like boom, 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 boom. Like he's not even really looking. You just see him like boom, boom, like you're not even able to like slow like. It's all very kind. It's not like I'm smacking this old man's hands away. But it's like, nope, stop, nope, stop, nope, stop.
He says, "This won't do." And he just like kind of like he just turns into a big old bear and he goes, and he just like pats your head.
I do want to point out he no longer has a shell, so we would have to refer to it as back again.
The bartender pops his head out and just looks around. When the bear get here?
More dishwater, please. Maybe in to-go cup.
That's not fair, that's a turtle.
Be thanking.
I barely know.
As the barkeep is looking around, he nods and he's going to get a satchel with some enclosed containers of dishwater around. Shakes his head and then he sees Bootsy over there, kind of like wave. Yes. What is it over there, Miss? Oh, you waved a moment ago.
Yeah, but the joke is past.
Oh.
You said the bartender came out, and I wanted to be like, "What the dog doing?" But then it didn't work.
Man.
Because
I'm not as funny in these larger groups anymore.
I mean,
so-
if you stop muting yourself manually,
Well,
then...
it's because I have my wine straw and it's metal, and it like.
But also, I
Yeah.
want to point out that you have had the biggest laugh of the night so far just by introducing yourself. So,
yeah,
That was
you've
not
already-
intended.
you've already-
That was because I was creating my character on a weekend when I was very tired, and I was just kind of basically going "fuck it" to everything, and I couldn't come
I
up
feel
with
like
a
you should
name,
do
and
that
that was
more
the only
often.
name I could come up with. So I was like, "All right, there it is." Like,
She literally
Yes.
spent like
Quite
an
clever.
hour and a half looking for a name, and she's like, this one. I was like, okay. Oh, okay.
but it wasn't like concern. It was
Yes.
basically just me poking buttons on my phone. Like I was not doing anything. Yeah.
just Wordle, but D&D.
Yeah. Oh man.
D and Dirtle.
Well, the barkeep is back in the kitchen with the bear patting the head of one of the satyrs there. All
Yes.
right. As
But he
things
does
settle
turn back,
down,
and then he kind of sits back. He's not going to just keep doing that to you.
You're gonna try and sit in a. I want to see how you sit in a chair as a bear. I just want to know how that goes.
Have you ever been to the circus?
Uh-huh.
Not with bears.
Oh. Yeah, it's
We
just
love
like
the
it
circus.
it
I've
looks
seen
like
like
a little
lions and tigers, just never bears.
just a
Oh my.
bears.
Oh
You know how
my.
hard it was for me to not to plug
Duh, bear.
the greatest role on earth right there. The Dat Network Tuesday.
Oh yeah. Oh
You ever
yeah.
been to the circus? Well, I got a circus for you.
I mean, this is session
And the
zero. What do
plug
you
is
want to
there.
plug?
There we go.
You're welcome.
I was gonna say, I don't think you succeeded at not plugging it.
Shut up, Nathan. I was being sneaky like.
He didn't say anything about the DAT network and
Yeah.
any of that.
I definitely didn't say Tuesday, 6 p.m.
Yeah. where there's
Nope. You're not
there's
even plugging
chances-
your own show.
I play a lute.
Oh man.
5
Well-
minutes later.
Wow.
So
Our-
speaking
our-
of lute, Mr. Bartender.
The bartender leans out. Yeah, dinner's about ready. What about loots? Do we have a band here tonight?
I mean, if you want it. But I was asking more about the lute.
Oh,
in
yes.
The Fae.
Yes. I'll bring dinner out shortly, and I will brief you on what could be out there. And
It
he,
would be more helpful if you told us what
Brilliant.
is there.
he slowly, like, ominously slides back into the kitchen.
Hide.
Mr. Big Man and Katniss never seen. What you bringing to this table here, other than dishwater?
Well, Dave, Big Man bring very human personalities, and good with
Plural.
stabbing people and taking things.
The
That
troll
voice
has made
sounds
his
so
way over to
boring.
Dave and is smelling him.
Mr. Big Man, if you are dealing with some multiple human personalities, perhaps that is something that me and some other healers might be able to help you with.
No! No! That's very rude human customs. Hello, you're sick. Very rude. You didn't even tell
Give me,
name.
Miss.
You know, I never felt like I was going to die more on a mission than I do right now.
That's fair. You've probably never been on a mission you're more likely to die on than you are right now.
I was feeling pretty
well-
confident until I walked into this place.
While is sniffing, while is up there sniffing, like right as he gets around my chest, it's lightning quick, but it may not register, but you feel like a slight tap on the tip of your nose, but I'm very clearly holding my drink.
He just goes, and just pats you and moves back to his chair, and looks at the cat lady. Actually, what type of cat do you represent? Like coat and stuff wise.
I was going. Sorry, I didn't know if my microphone was on when I started talking. I was thinking a darker colored cat. I don't know if it's house cat or panther. Like, I don't know. Like I said, didn't put a lot of effort in.
Not
Figuring
a
it
lot of
out.
I wanted to see it in my head.
But yeah, a dark colored cat, like a dark gray or a black.
No strong markings, is what you're saying.
No, the only difference is that like my feet paws are like a different color than
Different color, so lighter.
yeah.
Socks.
Okay. Yeah, you have
Boots.
socks.
We have a
Got it.
Boots.
Oh, okay,
Boots.
bootsy. Got it.
Like Banksy,
If we
but
have a
boots.
black cat in our party, does that mean everybody else is unlucky and has to roll at disadvantage?
Sure, I'll take that.
No?
Yes, my roll is too great.
What?
What are you
the
doing?
most OP character
Why?
is the black cat.
That's a lot of talk to someone with
That
30 hit points.
No, we
Everyone
don't.
starts off with
Wait,
one
Not
hit
us.
point.
No, not us. She's on our side.
okay.
It's like if you own the black cat and it walks
Oh.
in front of you, you're
Oh,
Straight.
Excuse me. No,
I knew it was
you
like
do
this.
not own me.
I'm not saying
None of you
I'm-
own me. I just met you. I'm
I'm
not a
saying
stray.
Black cat mythology. the ones who are friendly with it do not get the bad luck.
Oh man.
As soon as I see that stare,
None of that
I would just go,
Zoe's.
and then
Oh man. Can I ask a quick question? Did all of you take Tasha's hideous laughter, or do I have to make sure that that's something that you all have because that's how you're going to kill your enemies now?
It's not a
viable
spell
list
that I
for Druid.
electively took, but
I took
could
Tasha's mind
change that.
whip.
How did the party get most of their kills? Yeah, they laughed their foes to death until their innards came
Like
out.
Roger Rabbit.
Oh no.
No, right?
Is this
Like the
Roger
weasels.
Rabbit rated
No,
R?
no, no. Yeah, like Roger Rabbit, the weasels die by laughing. Haven't you
Oh,
guys seen
yeah.
this?
Nose doesn't
Yes.
rhyme with
You gotta
walls.
borrow it.
And they're like, stop laughing! It's hilarious.
Man.
Watch
isn't
it.
there also a city in Greece where people danced until they died?
Well, they were screaming as
That
they
was
were
Grease?
put in. It was like
Oh,
what was it called? I can't remember what it's called.
So dinner's ready?
We're fully
Yeah.
off the rails here, folks.
dude.
Yeah.
There were
I mean,
rails at any point.
the rails were
Let's
leading.
check on the bartender. I'm getting hungry.
The rails led up to the door of this place, and apparently it was in a
That's where they
giant
stopped.
cavern that everything just plummeted into. We're still falling, laughing our heads off the whole way down. But the bartender does come out, and he's got platefuls of various things. There's breads and meats. There's some cooked up vegetables. There's some fresh vegetables. I didn't know what each of you eats, so here's a bunch of things. I hope I've covered everything. If you need something special that's not here, please let me know. Enjoy. I'll be back out momentarily with a round of drinks, and we'll begin the debrief. And he backs
I
away
caught
and
that,
kind of
Glenn.
watches
Well
the
done.
table. Did just sniff everything? Is that what happened?
He was
He
like
was
going
sniffing
after
at
him.
like a piece of fruit or something, like
Oh,
just doing
there it
that
is.
thing that tortoises do, where they go wow, and then they use their beak to
Yeah.
break a piece off, and then they
Just
except
makes a
without
mess on the
as much
table.
movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As he
I'm
backs
civilized.
away.
I make a mess in my space.
Oh, there you go. Civilized turtle that sniffs everybody. So as he backs
Watch
away,
your
he kind of
fingers.
watches across the party. Do any of you immediately see a need across the table? Like, is there something that's not a standard human food that might be needed? More dishwater, a dirty sock.
I just stare back
Ball of
at
yarn.
him.
Ball of yarn, apparently. So
I
he
don't eat yarn.
he goes into the
Why are you
kitchen.
assuming it's you?
All right, enjoy your dishwater and yarn.
I
So he
would
goes,
actually take a ball of
It's for,
yarn, but not for eating.
Can't you just shave your legs and like turn it into cashmere?
Oh yeah, he does. We've got quite the shop.
Yeah. You want a scarf?
Sweater.
Yeah,
Mittens?
Dave
Sock.
want a scarf.
That's made.
So as the
here.
food's sitting down, like,
organic.
Nick eats a little bit, and then he pulls out from his pouch some like knitting needles and starts working on it. Because I definitely have proficiency in weaving and weaver's tools, and I have that with me. I start making Dave a scarf.
100%
Pull that little
organic.
vial out of my sleeve, pour more in my half-empty glass of tea, and put it back.
are you trying to be stealthy on your pour, or do you not care if everyone sees it?
No, I don't care. It's just
Okay.
Mr.
Now-
Whiskey.
Mr. Whiskey. Now, as you are all making your plates and beginning to eat, the barkeep comes back out and looks across the table, and you see him visibly like sigh in relief, as he seems to be happy that no one's complained or sent food back. He looks across the group and just kind of eyeballs everything, puts a few beers down that had gone empty, and pulls up a chair just a little bit away from the table. So I brought you here on a mission, and well, like I said, the woods back here. Some people call them haunted, some people call them possessed. Some people even believe that there may be a way to get to another realm. I know what realm it is. It's a really, really weird part of the Feywild. But there's a few things that are going on, and he pulls a small chest out from under the table that he's up against, and he sets it on like a small clear spot amongst the group. And as you're eating and looking over, he opens this chest, and inside there's about 20 or so small vials. He pulls one out and holds it up to the center of the group. And within this vial, you see what seems to be an incredibly tiny red dragon flying around in this vial. And the vial can't be much more than a couple inches tall. And so the dragon's even smaller. So it takes a keen eye to kind of lean in and see this. And it's blowing fire, and it lands, and you hear a little bit of a small muffled roar to the tonality of a dragon, but at like a much smaller scale, as if it comes through a cell phone. Like it's not like a high pitched. It's not like higher pitched, but it is a lot more like condensed. Oh my gosh.
Like in Harry Potter, where they have the tiny dragons when they select them for them.
Oh yeah, but much smaller than that even. Instead of like in the hand,
smaller
it's
even,
like it's like in a little vial. He quickly pulls that back and pulls another vial out, and as he holds it in front of the group, there's a large creature that looks somewhat
vial,
like.
So it's not large.
Well, it's bigger than the dragon. It's a creature that looks a bit like a bear, but the flesh is kind of rotted off the bones. The eyes are glowing red, and that one just has a rumble that comes out, and he quickly shows a few more, and they're just large, incredible, and scary creatures all condensed down into the size of these vials. And then he pulls out a couple empty ones, and he looks across the group. So there's a few things going on. This haunting, it has a few patterns to it, and well, I've collected some of the most evils in the Fey realm. Well, I haven't personally. The adventuring parties that I've invited have collected these evils, and I'm requesting that you continue to help me in this. If I can rid the Feywild Forest of these things, hopefully they won't make it to the town. A handful of years ago, this red dragon over here, it did make it to the town, and well, there was 3 survivors. So we try to prevent that. So tonight, at the stroke of midnight, the passage will be opened, and I'm hoping you can assist. Now, there's a bunch of stories that I've heard from past parties, some successful, some not. One, there's a haunted lair, a large cave-like structure that all sorts of ghost and oogie boogie things are there. The one person that returned said they were ghosts that spat slime, and there were creatures from your nightmares. But there was a pile of treasure taller than, well, the mountain out there, and he points out the window, and in the dark, the moon is kind of shining across a tall peak. It looks like it would take days to hike up. Well, there's also a gemstone in an old castle that it's called the Gemstone of Innate Ability. I'm not quite sure what it does, but the thing guarding that has never let anyone come back alive. So all we've gotten are letters that had been left behind from other parties. Finally, there's a
Which
couple
one?
more things. What? Yes?
Which letters? Was it like Q? Because if there's a Q in it, that narrows it down a bit.
The man reaches in and kind of rustles a couple of the vials and pulls out a few pieces of paper that are obviously bloodstained. The paper's brown, and there's a few letters that you can read underneath all of this, and some of it's smeared. And he kind of shows it to the group. These are the letters. There's only a few letters left in these letters, and looks at Snick and kind of gives him a little aha, like, I got your joke. And he puts them gently back into the little chest he's got. So the other two is apparently there's been a kingdom that has been kidnapped, according to one journal. Yes, you heard me right. A kingdom that was kidnapped. Something scooped an entire kingdom and took off with it. And there's only a divot in the ground where the kingdom once lay. And then finally, there's a lake made of pure sweets. And within it, there's treasure at the bottom, but one large sugar fish is what the tales call it, guards this treasure. So I'm not quite sure which it'll be, and it seems to almost allow the party to shout what they wish. One group shouted that they wanted to be back home, and apparently they showed up on the other side of the continent. And then that's when the red dragon attacked. But if you wish, I can go over any small details I have of these things. But I want to make sure that you can at least capture one of the evils before it escapes tonight.
All right, just looking around the room here, I just feel like ghosts wouldn't be our area of expertise. You know what I'm saying?
I like the sound of a sugarfish.
I mean, sugarfish sounds nice. What's the whole kingdom thing that got scooped up, though? Because if it's just like a kingdom of ants, then whatever we got to fight wouldn't be that big.
No. What? Let's go. Let's go to the mountain of gold and treasure. Let's do that one.
Wait, but that one's the one with the ghosts.
Okay.
I can't punch a ghost.
Well, maybe we sneak in. Yeah, humans can sneak past ghosts.
Usually it's the other way around.
That's not my area of expertise.
I can help us sneak very well.
Okay, decided. Ghosts.
But Lake of Sugar.
I'm
Treasure
watching
in
my
Lake of Sugar.
waist.
Lake of Sugar is already a treasure. And then there's more treasure.
There was a gem, right, with something that just killed everything. I feel like I could punch something to death that just kills things. But a ghost I can't punch.
But
Maybe
ghosts can-
maybe friendly ghosts.
Have you ever tried to punch a ghost?
Yeah. Have you ever tried to punch a ghost? Good question.
Have you ever tried to punch a ghost?
I mean, I've never seen a ghost to begin with. But here's the thing.
So
Their whole being is kind of incorporeal. And therefore solid things.
Don't make up word. If don't know word, just don't say.
I said real words,
You
right?
did. Can we get the
Magic.
rundown of the options again?
So you've
What
got
was that, Lauren?
Like the highlights.
the highlights are the Oogie Boogie ghosts with a mountain of treasure. There's the gemstone of innate ability, which I'm sure would fetch a pretty penny, but everyone who's gone there has died. So this haunted castle is either. I mean, it could be haunts, it could be beasts. We have nothing on what's inside the walls of this castle. We have the kingdom that is kidnapped, but this kingdom is made of full gold. So the kingdom
Oh, you
itself
didn't
is
say that.
the kingdom itself is all gold, but it's been kidnapped. And then finally we've got the Sugarfish Lake, where at the bottom of the lake there's sunken treasure. Each has treasure, and each has an evil thing or things guarding it. So you may keep the treasure as long as you capture the evil in this. And he holds a vial out into the middle of the table.
What's in the vial?
It's empty.
How do we get
could
the monster
do
in?
several.
That was my question. I echo her thoughts.
How do we get the monster in is what the question was. The second question was we could do several from our turtle. So the
Is that a
barkeep.
question or
The barkeep looks across
Technically a statement.
Across.
the table and says, "These vials are magic, but you must incapacitate your foe to get it in there, and if you open the vial and place it to the foe while they're down, it transfers the essence. It's quite wild." And he picks up a small
It's a
bottle.
Pokeball.
Basically, but he picks up a small bottle and he holds it up, and inside there's a man pacing back and forth, and you hear him shout some profanities at the innkeeper and like raise his fist and shake it. See, this man, he tried burning down my inn multiple times, so I only know how this works because of my test subject. And he carefully sets it back down in. So as long as you don't try to burn down my inn, you may roam free, and I will allow you to use this vial on the evils that are within this Feywild.
Question,
All right.
sir.
But you may do as many
when-
as you believe you can do. Sorry, Tower. I was getting to your turtle
of course.
friend. If the evening isn't up by the time you've completed your first task, you may attempt another, but we shall see. But sorry, Tower, the Tower.
Well,
Mr. T.
that leads me to another question. You say when the evening does the portal only activate when it is evening? You mentioned midnight earlier.
The man who had come over and sat next to you at the bar earlier walks over, and he looks at the group. Well, you see that I'm a man in what, my 80s or so? I went last year. I was 26 when I entered.
What?
So
How long did it take you?
I went in at midnight, and the barkeep tells me that it was just after 3 when I returned.
Right, but like while you were on the other side, that adventure of yours, did it like take you? What would that be, like 54
Hours?
years?
50.
Well, I was imprisoned for what felt like many years. I served in an army that promised to get me back to my homeland, and I think I traveled hundreds of miles. And then finally that one day when I was able to break free and make it back to, the portal, it was there, and I walked through, and it felt just as fresh and as calm as the day that I left. He was in the portal the year before and didn't tell me until I returned. And points to the other man in the back corner.
So if 50 years is about 3 hours, then we have quite a bit of time.
Well, that is...
How do we know this student need a bad mushroom?
Your microphone's muted, I think.
Your microphone's muted.
How do we know this dude didn't need a bad mushroom?
We don't. I mean,
Because there's no such thing as a bad mushroom.
Yes.
As Zoe's eyes spin in their socket.
You hear her go, drugs.
Hello, cremini. Is that a mushroom? I think it's a mushroom.
Rimini.
Oh, turtle. The old man kind of laughs and chuckles and walks away. To the best of your knowledge, any of you may get a vibe that he could be telling the truth, but he might also not be.
Insight.
Go for it. This is our first roll.
I just want to
here.
roll a dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there we
Dungeon
go.
Master,
Oof.
I am quite
Uh,
observant as the feat, so my passive insight is crazy.
Okay. Anyone who wishes to
Oh, not crazy.
roll
It's
against, he really didn't do so hot on his roll. So most of you do believe that he thinks he's telling the truth regardless of what you think.
Okay.
So he seems to be coming across like fairly sincere to his word, but his tale is not as believable.
Like honest but ignorant, maybe?
Yeah, kind of.
He has a tail too?
There's so many tales on humans these days.
So, what if,
No.
folks? Now, hear me
Vestigial.
out. There's an entire kingdom of gold. Now that one sounds pretty promising. And if we wanted to, could always maybe along the way I learn how to punch a ghost, and then I'll go punch a ghost.
Or we go to the sugar.
How we get down?
A kingdom made of gold does me 0 good.
Why?
It's not
Ghosts?
It's not gold you
Sugarfish
get
underwater.
to keep.
It is if you
Yeah.
take apart a house.
I guess that presents itself a question. Were there any people in this kingdom when it was kidnapped? I'm assuming there would be, if it was
And are
kidnapped
they
and not just stolen.
Yes, well, the kingdom, I believe, did have inhabitants to the thousands, if I understand the letters correctly.
If there are lives at stake there, I do believe that should probably be our primary objective.
Gold Mountain?
Gold Kingdom. Think bigger.
Gold Ghost Mountain Kingdom Candy Lake.
Yeah, why not all one time? We go one time, get all.
I like him.
The barkeep is just looking across the group. Well, if you wish to go after all of them, I'm not stopping you, but I don't wish the evils upon you to chase after all of them. The portal will inevitably close after you've defeated at least one of the evils. Once you only have maybe a day or so in that world's time before the portal begins closing, so if you
don't wish these evils upon us, why did you invite us here to do this?
Well, I'm sure you're a quite capable adventurer for one of the evils, but as my friends over there claim they've been stuck for many, many years, I would hate for you to fall to the enemies to, multiple attempts at these things.
Question. Keeper. Any whatever name was. Can't we just like push rock into portal, keep it open?
Oh, well, we tried. There are 17 horses, 3 wagons, and 4 or 5 large boulders that went in a few years prior, and, well, they just went in and didn't block the hole. Apparently, it just encompasses the forest as a whole. We've tried burning the forest down, and it grows back up overnight. You just walk into the woods, and as you exit the other side, you're there.
What if we do one, come back through the portal, eat, drink, get a nap, and then tomorrow we could go in at midnight again and defeat another one if we want?
Well, it happens once a year. Otherwise, I would say do what you wish. Unless you find a way to keep the portal open, you might be able to do that.
Do like naps. That's the best one. Let's do the nap one.
Let's do the nap.
Look,
A young
Gold
man
Kingdom?
walks out of the kitchen, and he's got a full mug of like soapy dishwater. He brings out and sets down. Apparently, this was needing a refill, and he sets it on the edge of the table and walks away, just like shaking his head in disgust. On top of this mug of dishwater, there seems to be a little bit of like a piece of a tomato or something floating that might have been on a previous plate.
I might throw up.
Oh, the turtle's out.
Garnish.
Just pats the turtle in the face or like slaps him. Oh man, with a from the tower and a slap of a fuzzy mage hand. It's invisible, but it can
Good
still be
nap.
fuzzy. Wow. Well,
Welcome back to the land of the living, my friend.
You may do whatever
Barely.
you wish to these. Barely. Ooh. Yeah, my old bones feel that too, sir. Oh. Well, you may do what you wish. I will bring out a few gifts for your travels that may assist you. If you wish, we can do that shortly, and you may discuss amongst yourselves which you would like to tackle first, if you're so daring to do multiple. I'll be right back. And the barkeep hustles back to the back, and you hear him moving a few things from behind the bar. The small chest he had with all the vials on it is sitting on top of the bar. And at this point, we're going to take just a little bit of time to have a brief break. And when we return, we will get some gifts and we will figure out what the first challenge is. So, we don't have a song this episode.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah.
we'll get a song next time. But when you hear mayhem, we're back. If you
We'll
hear
just
terrible
smell.
jokes or
I moved on to Airwolf.
well, on that, you guys have 10 minutes or so to get reprieve from us. See you.
They're gonna play the song. I think this is
Yep.
the first time you actually couldn't even hear them crunching.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you who
couldn't hear it.
for those of you who missed it, I know there's a few out there who like redeeming the dog crunchies. The dogs were just hungry, so we kicked back into the episode with dogs crunching and humans doing human things.
I
human
listened to that
things.
song so much,
Oh yeah,
mixing it.
yeah. I listened to it so
So
much editing.
much.
Same.
Like
When I was helping edit it for one of
I
the other.
I think it was the soundtrack to my dreams for a while, but you know.
Oh, it's
You know.
true.
But
I
we're
will
back.
give a shout out to Nathan for composing a real earworm right there.
Humdinger.
Well done.
A humdinger. You will get to hear that again next week. We'll have something in place to prevent the cacophony of us, or not. You'll just get to hear our rendition all together
Yes.
at the same time. But yeah, we're back. We're Here Be Dragons, and we're having just a chaotic, like session 0 episode. I guess it's kind of a session 1 episode, but whatever. We're setting up for what's going to happen in the next few episodes. This is a short season, so we're going to be playing through what is it? February, March, and April. We're going to be on our first and third weekends with a chance of a 5th weekend in there, I think on April 30th. So keep an eye on our socials, listen to us on podcasts and whatnot, and tune in. But the chaos in the short session here, or the short season here, Here Be Dragons, this is our final go for some time. There's a lot of life happening across the board that is exciting and fun and makes this a little bit more of a challenge to do continuously as we have been. But we are so thankful for the last 3 years that you all have been with us. So we're having fun. We're being chaotic and stupid and funny. We're going to pull out some of our best jokes or some of our worst, combine them, and make this just like, I guess, a shitstorm of D&D? Is that what we're going to call it? Glenn's behind
I like that.
it.
That sounds very apt.
Glenn's behind it. You've got a preview so far in the first half of session 0 as to what you're going to get for the next few episodes. So I guess unfollow us now if you don't like it, or just follow us because something stupid's going to happen. It'll happen.
But you should just keep following me at least, because I'm literally going to Hogwarts. So.
Oh yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of fun. Lindsay and I are going to the UK later this year for her schooling. And the school that she's going to be going to, they had some scenes from Harry Potter filmed there because, well,
And we were the inspiration for the dining hall.
yeah, there it is. So that's the fun on the
That's
Sarton
legit.
side.
And
so-
they offer witchcraft and wizardry courses.
And they have a sorting hat. Just kidding, they don't.
No.
Wait,
That
what?
class does the sorting stuff. They do, and they have like gown formals and stuff.
What?
I'm literally going to Hogwarts.
And I'm just a stupid muggle.
Just
Well-
know that Mr. Weasley would like you.
Aw, because I'm interesting. But yeah, so that's what's happening with the DM side of things here. There's a lot of other fun happening across the board. So feel free to take a look at our socials that are bouncing across the bottom of each of the cards here. You can follow each and every one of us. Those are our Instagram handles, and you can keep up with all the shenanigans as things are happening. I'm not going to cut anyone else off if they want to say anything else about this season and life ahead. Otherwise, we're going to jump back in. 3, 2.
Kingdom of Gold!
Kingdom of Gold, more turtle sniffing things, and Dave Bigman. So the barkeep, last we saw him, was behind the bar, shuffling through a few things to bring out some gifts. And
Mm-hmm.
on top of the bar was the vials that had all of these wonderful, pleasant, no harm, no foul type creatures. Like, you want to pet them, they're so cuddly friendly, just trapped within these little vials. And the barkeep jumps up from behind the bar and sets a larger chest down and goes, I've got the presents here for you for the road ahead. And as he's wrestling with this chest, the smaller chest with all the vials gets bumped off of the bar and begins to fall to the ground.
Mage hand!
Mage hand.
I'm sitting there. The mage hand come up. I want to try and catch it for sure because I feel like the tower would have been studying this, and if it starts to go, he's like, "Urgh."
All right, I'm going to need dexterity rolls from all of you, including your mage hands. Anyone that wants to try dexterity rolls.
Was that just a straight dex? You want dex save?
Dex save is fine. I will also allow sleight of hand if that's slightly better, as you can attempt a few things there.
No, but thank you. I appreciate that.
27.
27,
20.
okay. 20, okay.
I actually don't even know what's happening right now.
You aren't aware?
So
Did
she
you
doesn't
roll
have to roll
something?
on dex.
I don't know.
Okay.
I spaced out, so I guess my character spaced out
Okay,
and gets to miss out.
Your
Sure,
character's
that's-
just staring
that's
off.
fair.
So, Bigman and are you joining in, or are you just watching the chaos?
No, I'm specifically just watching it, and after it hits the ground,
Just watching.
I'm gonna go, oh, look out! But
All right.
after.
So, well, as
But
it's
it's
falling,
not gonna.
Oh no!
as it's falling, Snick and Zoe, or Zoe, sorry. You always have
Zoe.
a name that I look up and go, nope, I said it wrong. So Zoe and Snick, what did you do or use for your rolls? Were they both mage hands, or were they like diving in and trying to catch?
I had a mage hand for 20.
Yeah, I was just gonna dive in and like kind of slide in underneath the box and like change the momentum and just like cradle it like a
All right.
newborn child.
So between Zoe and Snick, they get what seems to be an almost perfect catch, as like one might be sliding into the end zone to catch the ball and get the game-winning point. But as the tower reaches out, he punches the edge of this chest, and one vial
He did not
flips
do well.
out and spins and drops to the ground and twirls in the corner and then falls over with a slight crack. It pops and smoke fills that corner of the room. And as the smoke dissipates, there is a Tyrannosaurus Rex, not to the full size. It grew as big as its tank allowed. So the Tyrannosaurus Rex stands about 8 feet tall and is leaning over with even smaller arms than one can imagine because he's like a third of his actual size. And he lets out kind of a yelp of a roar, just "Wah!" And he begins to charge at the group. So, we're gonna roll.
This one's gonna be the look,
Initiative.
Keith. This one's on you. You take the turn. You do it, Keith.
Yeah,
Oh,
shield
for
him
sure.
to
No,
death.
like. I imagine the tower's like he sees it fall. He's like, no, and he like reaches out to catch it and like hits it with his hand, so it just goes flying. He's like, oh.
Yeah, so we're gonna have our
Yep.
first roll for initiative here. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go alphabetically in terms of how they're laid out here. So Bootsy, what did we roll? 13. Snick,
8. I'm too busy cradling everything.
8. The tower,
That's fair. 14.
14.
It's gonna be my best initiative roll ever.
Dave Bigman,
26.
26.
10.
10.
Yes.
And Zoe,
13.
13. All right. So as the vial explodes and the smoke dissipates, the barkeep mutters under his breath, "Oh, not again." And we start with Dave Bigman. The Tyrannosaurus Rex that's kind of appeared and is roaring at you kicks over a couple chairs and a table as it appears. You have a pretty
Yeah, I was saying,
clear.
is this a back corner? Is this like along
Yeah.
the bar? Is it along the bar corner or
Yeah,
is it a
so-
back corner?
Let's imagine here as you walk straight into the
Yeah.
doors, about 15
Yeah.
feet in, there's the bar top. Off to
Got
the
it.
right, there's a couple small tables and some stools up along the windows where there's a run across. That's where all of you have
Okay.
been set. On the other side, if you look to your left, there's 2 tables, a small fireplace, and in the back corner, the 2 older men who have been kind of cracking jokes at this are there. So we're on the right side coming in from the door. Between all of those
Gotcha.
tables around the end of the bar, it kind of fell and crashed. There's nothing down there. That's more or less like a drink station where servers, if they had a few running, would go get a drink from the bar and come around. So it's pretty open in that back corner, but there's a couple tables and chairs around. It doesn't take a lot of motion to get between. The whole space that you'll be fighting in is probably about 25 by 25. So there's going to be
Sure.
motion that you can have. There's going to be a
Sure.
little bit of cover you can have, but it's not anything like a wild 100-foot expanse. We're not in like the Costco
Right. So the
bars.
bar is just in that one corner.
Yeah, the bar
It's
the
not
bar is
spanning
straight
2
in.
corners. It's just one corner.
Yeah, the bar is straight in
Okay.
and kind of goes off to the right side a little bit. It doesn't go off to the left side. So
Oh,
you're
okay,
you're
so-
in kind of
okay,
a little bit of a
okay.
crowded area, and
Understood.
it does impede motion a little bit. But as a reminder, in D&D you can move through your own party. So
It's true.
This T-Rex is
Thank
like
you, Jared.
puppy sized.
no, it stands about 8
Or-
feet tall. It
Oh,
basically is like a goldfish that grew to where it could. If it grew about 6 or so inches taller, the head would bump into some of the rafters and the ceiling above.
Well,
so
That changes a little bit. Okay.
yeah, so it's bigger than Velociraptor, smaller than T-Rex, but looks like a T-Rex.
With a lightning quick kind of movement that kind of catches the corner of your eyes. It looks like a dagger is thrown across the room at this T-Rex. However, it doesn't look like Dave Bigman's hands have moved, but you do see like the button on the shirt kind of close in a little bit as this dagger flies across the room. Oof. Got a
Stomach
math.
daggers.
I don't like math. 27. Yeah.
I guess that hits.
Yeah, cool. Let me math again. Not a lot of damage. 21 damage.
21 damage.
Ooh.
Uh,
Oof.
For a dagger.
For a dagger.
oh, I mean that's the sneak attack and the
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
No,
Yeah.
that's still not bad
Um,
though.
And then, almost in one kind of fluid movement, after this dagger flies across the room, you see Dave Bigman stand up and kick back the chair behind him, and he draws a short sword while moving forward towards this T-Rex. Except it's like his feet started to go before the upper part of him, so he kind of goes this like little like movement where his head catches up to his body, but he's standing kind of near the T-Rex. And then as a bonus action, I would like to try and hide, and by hide I mean like either get between a booth, table, wall kind of thing, just to not be, I want to be adjacent but not directly in front of this Trex.
Yeah, there's
With
a table that you could probably go under. He tipped one of the tables a little bit on its side, so you can duck around it a little bit.
Yeah, I'll kind of dip over there with it's only a
Dip,
10
duck,
stealth. It's
dive
not
and
great.
dodge,
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
Is that it, or do we have like 2 more turns or something?
No, that's it. That's it.
Okay. Okay. All right. So Dave Bigman is done. The tower is next.
So, in seeing the T-Rex and it springs up, he's gonna kind of like slide off his stool at the bar and grab the shield off his back as he's running towards the T-Rex. And in grabbing the shield, he barks out,
Only one Mr. T here.
and then he lines up in front of the T-Rex. Sorry, it was there. I had to. There was no choice.
I rolled a 4 on my intelligence saving.
The T-Rex
lost.
gets 1 point dumber.
No, the DM gets 1 point dumber.
So he's gonna pull out his shield. He's gonna run up to the T-Rex. I'm gonna stop in front of it, and I will use the dodge action.
All right. Here we go. We go to Bootsy then.
We're at the bar.
You were sitting off.
We've been
a
at the
table
bar
a
for
little
the
bit.
No,
last
but I mean,
couple
like-
hours.
Like at the bar counter, or
No,
at
you were at a table over by the door.
the,
Because you had spaced out, you're probably still eating as everyone
How
else is
far
getting
is
out.
it to like?
About 10 or 15 feet. It's just
Okay.
up over the table or around the table if you go.
So I guess I like look up and I see the T-Rex and whatever they're doing, and I'm like, and I walk to the bar, and I jump over the counter and I pour myself a beer.
So you're right next to the barkeep who is staring this T-Rex down,
Yeah.
and you're just like pouring yourself a beer, and he's focused on the T-Rex. Okay.
Right. So I don't even
Yes.
need to
Yeah.
use my stealth, but yeah,
Okay.
that's my action, right? Because I interacted with an object and everything.
Okay. I'll allow it.
Okay.
So we have one of our party pouring themselves a beer in this combat. We go to Zoe. You're on the side of the table where the T-Rex had spawned out. So basically, it's just behind your back, about 6 or 8 feet.
I'm gonna move
Okay.
away,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna turn and give it a really dirty look. And I need you to like a mean look. And I need you to roll an intelligence save.
Thank you for
Uh-oh.
clarifying the dirty look.
Yeah.
No dishwater needed here.
No dishwater
Why
needed.
are you making fun of Dave Bigman?
Dave Big.
Dave Bigman needs no help with that.
Does a -2 do anything?
Yeah, it gets you hurt. Okay.
How do you get
So
a-
you have
like,
just
that's
It's a
Been
one on the it's a
mine
one
with-
on the save and a really bad intelligence.
that's horrid. I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah.
okay, so you take 11 psychic damage, right? Yeah, psychic damage.
Mhm.
And on your next turn, You can't take a reaction until the end of your next turn, and when your next turn comes around, you must choose whether you move, take an action, or get a bonus action. You only get one.
Boom.
All right. Well,
That's a sweet spell, by the way. I just
Well-
want to throw that out there. That's legit.
here's the fun.
Tasha, mind twin.
It's Mr. T too. He rushes
How
forward.
dare you?
Yeah, he rushes forward at the shield and the taunt. And as he rushes forward, you see the big jaw open up to bite, and then he just stops in midair and puts his head down and goes,
With my
and like it's just clacking his teeth. And he can't seem to understand why he's not able to bite. He just like clacks his teeth and looks around, and then just leans back, and his eyes get big and stare at the tower.
So, due to my subclass, the circle of the shepherd, I can understand the gesticulations of beast.
Oh, geez.
I
how
want you
is
to
this T-Rex
translate what
feeling
he
right
just
now?
did.
So the translation was, I'm gonna get my teeth. They're fuzzy. Why are my teeth fuzzy? This weird flavor. Whoa, I have hands. I should be biting something right now. And that's what happened as he was prevented from actually making an attack.
The deep
Um,
thoughts.
Okay.
Deep
So,
thoughts with T-Rex.
Yeah.
Hey, he's got a really, really bad intelligence. So,
It's got a big head and little arms.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why aren't you getting the boy?
I love that movie. So you kind of see just shake his head a little bit, and then bonus action shillelagh on his staff, and he walks up and he just bunks him on the nose, non-lethally.
Non-lethally. Okay.
So we're gonna attempt to shillelagh his face. That's a 13.
Meets. You get to do your damage.
Yes.
Awesome. We know the AC. That is 6 magical, non-lethal bludgeoning damage to the snout of the mini Rex.
To snouch.
And he
And
just goes, no.
It makes a little pop as it hits. Just a. The T-Rex pulls its nose back and kind of like wiggles it as if it wants to sneeze, or it stung a little bit. Snick. It is your turn.
Your
I
turn,
would like
Mr.
to-
Entertainer.
I gently put down the box.
Okay.
I'm how far away from the Rex?
It's about 10 feet behind you, but recall that you had slid and caught the box, so you're technically prone at this point.
Okay,
That'd be
Well-
half, I think, to get up.
Yeah.
that's fine.
You should be
I'll
okay.
spend half my movement to stand up. If I'm next to a table, I will put the box on the table. Turn around. So I used half of my movement to stand up. Okay.
Mhm.
So I've used 22.5 feet of my movement to stand up. I will now run 10 feet towards the creature. I'm gonna ram it with my horns in the flank.
Ram you.
Oh shoot.
Bang.
That's gonna
22?
miss. Tell me what. Yeah. That's gonna miss. But I have made an attack action, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so now I will
Begin the punching.
flurry of blows and make 2 more attacks. One is a 19
Okay.
on the dice. The other is a natural 20.
Ooh.
Ooh. Our first crit
First
of
20.
this session. First crit of the
Nice.
season.
Can
and
I,
first
can I
crit.
share
Where's the-
something
Where's the horn?
with you as a monk?
Yeah.
If you ever play a Tabaxi monk, please make it furry of blows. That's
Touche.
all.
That's
Thank
all.
you,
My
Glenn,
leg-
for your contribution.
I mean, satyrs aren't the smoothest creatures.
It's true.
It still could be, yeah.
Yeah, where do you think my scarf's coming from?
Blows.
So I get the D6, so that's 6 points, plus 2 more D6, another total of 6, that's 12, plus 10 is 22 damage total, and now I will turn around and run back the other direction, moving a total of 22 and a half feet, because I have the
That's so much.
drunken technique. Whenever I use Flurry of Blows, I can gain the benefit of a disengage action, and my walking speed increases by 10 feet until the end of my current turn. So I run in,
My gosh.
I miss with my horns, and then go, "Puh-puh," and then I
and
run
then
away.
stumble back to your chair.
You told me
Oh
this guy was broken.
There you
alright.
go,
My-
Mr. Rexy.
Gosh. 45 feet of movement. That is absurd.
I'm unarmored, and
There's
the,
a way to get 160 feet of movement around with a Tabaxi monk.
With a, where you
Yeah.
have like a haste action, like a
No, just natural
potion.
movements and
Seriously.
stacking with
Agility.
feet and stuff. Yeah, look up Sonic Monk. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jeez. That's absurd.
Well, we don't have one of those, so I'm just gonna have to do.
All right. That's fun. Dave Bigman, we're back to you and your belly button daggers.
Dave Bigman. Well, I've got the
He drew a
sword
short
out
sword.
now.
Yes.
I've got the short sword out now. So
Hiding behind a table. Mhm.
and if I recall, he's got someone next to him. Yes.
Yes. We've got the
Great.
shield right up on him.
Great. Well, I'm
Well,
gonna
the
this
tower.
time. Dave's
Yeah.
gonna come
Oh,
out
the
again.
shield. It's-
His feet go forward, and then his head kind of chases after. But using that momentum of like the whip from the movement, his arm's just gonna come over and try and slice into this this guy here.
All right. And
this-
as we're doing this attack here, because I know some people like to understand this about the situation, this Tyrannosaurus Rex is looking a bit worn, a bit bloodied.
Thank you.
14 plus 8, 22 to hit, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna hit for math.
We're going to hit for math, ladies and gentlemen. This episode brought to you by numbers 4, 8, 16, 24.
26.
Ah,
26
you-
damage.
You got
with
through
my
it.
Sword.
20. 26 damage with your whip and slash,
Whip
then-
slash.
basically.
Once again, bonus action. We're gonna like Batman smoke out of there and hide.
Batman smoke and hide.
With
Okay.
an 18 on the stealth.
So what is this Batman smoke and hide thing?
Would
Do you
that
have-
provoke opportunity?
No, it's a rogue bonus action.
Oh.
Well, also,
it's-
this T-Rex doesn't have a reaction right now, so
Well, that was my next thought. Was
Because
like he
of
doesn't
mind
have.
whip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes as part of the cunning action feat of the rogue. Yeah, so he just like kind of spins around and like the cloak flips as he runs a different direction and dips behind a chair or something this time.
Rogues have the built-in ability to dip, duck, dive, and dodge.
Yep.
It's true.
All right. So here on out, it's gonna be twin beholders. That's all you get. Fine. Be that way. You duck out of there. We go to the tower. the tower. Your shield, instead of a rumble like a purr,
Yeah.
actually clangs and clatters as almost as if it's reacting unfavorably to what's in front of it. You might understand that as kind of a hiss.
It's not hissing.
Yeah,
okay, I
but
was say it's hissing.
but
That's
it's
fair.
it's only out of
But-
rumble. So
Does the T-Rex know that?
no, the T-Rex just hears your armor kind of clattering in front of it.
Yeah, got it. Okay. I'm gonna take a quick glance around at the people who are around me. Everyone appears to be fine
So far, yeah.
from what I can see.
Yep.
Because there's only me and the turtle up here. David Bigman popped in for a quick sec, but he ducked out. Oh yeah, and Snick left because he did
Yeah.
a whole magic trick. So it's just me and ye old turtle. What's up? Is with me, and I will, seeing everyone's doing okay, I will again take the dodge action.
All right. We go to our new bartender, Bootsy. Bootsy, what's going on in Barville?
What was that?
I
You
just
muted.
been, yeah, somebody's been barking tonight.
Sorry.
Stop, Jared.
So I just been watching from behind the bar,
Can't control the
drinking
shield.
my
It's-
beer. I flick out a claw and I draw like this thing in the air, and now I have Blade Ward. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. That's a thing.
Mm-hmm. And I guess that's my action, right? Because that's a cantrip.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've got interact with object as you continue to drink your beer that
Yeah.
you're just chilling there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is gonna bite your finger off.
Zoe?
I'm gonna put out my finger guns, and firebolts are gonna come out of my fingers.
Okay.
14 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, cool. And he gets 10 points of fire damage.
10 points of fire damage. Woo! This T-Rex is on fire. And you hear some crackles as it catches. And it's still standing. Yes.
I would also like to call out, anybody got one of those vials?
The
That
vials.
wasn't Irish. Anybody got one of the vials? That
There
was
you
probably
go.
more what it said.
There it is.
Yo,
Yeah.
anybody got a
Yo.
vial in there? So
Vials? I got a vial in here.
so you play the lute. So to the best of your knowledge, there are some vials on the table, I believe, where Snick had set the chest.
Cool.
Now, we go to the T-Rex, and the T-Rex decides it's going to bite at the shield in front of it and hope to get the person behind, and then it's going to try to swing the tail. So for the first hit here, it is a nat 20. So
Is that
on
a disadvantage?
at a disadvantage. What's giving me a
I
disadvantage?
took the dodge action.
Oh, you took the dodge. Oh, that's a 12 on the die plus 10, 22.
That's right.
22 hits, I believe.
It does.
So
That's
let's
not a nat 20.
no nat 20. No,
I'll take that.
It does.
Hit
32 points of damage as it gets over your shield and latches into your shoulder at your neck.
That's
Got
real
it.
good. It wasn't a nat 20.
Yeah.
You'd be
Yeah.
dead.
That would have sucked.
You're the
real
Yeah.
bad.
And you're the healer. So it bites into you pretty
Oh, that's true.
nastily.
Yeah, true.
And then it swings the tail around
Mm-hmm.
and attempts to hit the turtle.
As I see that tail coming, I am going to use my reaction to protect the turtle. So that attack also has disadvantage.
Save the turtle,
Baller.
save the world.
I got
That's
two
right.
nat 20s that you have actually gotten rid of, and I love these dice. But the second one was a 17.
I
For
tried,
the
man.
beats. So it hits.
17 hits.
Oh, that's great.
All right. Well, let's see here.
Kept
The
the, kept the
damage.
crit away. So
Yeah,
that
you
would
kept
have
the crit
killed
away.
me.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm trying, man. I'm doing my best.
You get 14 points of damage as the tail smacks square into your chest. All
Ow.
right. Hey, the tower. You're considered a medium size, correct? You aren't like
Yes.
massive. All right.
No.
I need you to make a strength check here as the bite latches into your shoulder. Otherwise,
Okay.
you will be considered grappled as it holds on to you.
Fair. Is that a saving throw or is that
Yeah.
a straight check?
It's a saving
Okay.
throw. It's an escape DC essentially.
Ooh, 15.
15 does not meet. So you
Okay.
are currently grappled as it
He's
stands
got me,
at the end of the
boys.
turn. Awesome. So,
Cool.
the tail hits you square in the chest, and you see that it bit over the shield that was protecting some of the new party that you're with. What do you do?
Sorry, you said me?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Sorry.
I was looking over my
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
to see
becoming
if I could
because
do
I'm like
anything
with
about
my
that.
too. Yeah.
I now have to be very careful in how I speak. I can't put ums in there.
It's true.
And I have to be careful with
Oh.
us because Dave might get like, oh, hey, what?
What?
Huh? I'm going to just keep thwacking it on the nose. It's kind of
Alright.
like, you know, like an old lady bonking a dog on the nose. It's like, no, like
Alright.
nicely. I'm not trying to kill this thing. I'm just trying to reprimand him.
Okay.
I'm picturing
So-
the old man from Up telling the kid to get off his porch.
Hey,
Get
Right.
off my lawn.
okay.
Crit? I'm assuming because the way you described it, you're doing non-lethal.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
Okay.
I'm not killing this thing. He's a beautiful
Okay.
beast, literally categorized as a beast.
I was trying to
And
kill him.
covered in
And
blood. My blood. Just for the record.
And I roll maximum damage, so it's 20 non-lethal magical bludgeoning damage to the snout.
Oh. You bop this thing hard, and a spray of blood comes out its nose. I think you broke its nose. It lets go of the tower and falls over on its side. And quite literally, most of you think you can hear Tweety birds like going around its head because of what you've done. It is incapacitated and laying on its side there. The tower covered in blood of all sorts. And
oh yeah. He's not feeling great.
you are technically out of combat at this point.
I grab a
I just
vial,
pat the snout. Good
go
boy.
up to the T-Rex, uncork it, and put it right up on him.
Yeah, as you put the vial up on the T-Rex
And I
like
say,
liquefies and goes
"Abracadabra."
right in. Abracadabra. And as you say that, the T-Rex like liquefies and sucks right into the vial. And then when you look into the vial, you see the little T-Rex, and he's got a little bit of like blood on his nose, but he's standing upright, and he's like looking around and just kind of confused. You understand these motions to be a bit of like, how'd I get back in here? I was just biting dinner, and dinner went away. Bootsy.
I want to fill my beer and go back and sit where I was before like anybody really knows.
Please roll me stealth at advantage. Oh geez, what?
Also, nobody heard that. I said that I was.
We did. We heard it, but it was through Jared's
It
mic.
was through Jared's mic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I said. Yeah. Okay. Well, at advantage, it's 22.
It's 22. So you fill your beer and get back around the bar, and the barkeep
Mind you,
notices.
it's not like in any sort of haste.
Okay, so the barkeep notices that there's a couple bits of fur, not like chunks, but like a couple of your fur follicles
Tufts.
had dropped. Just minor, just like if you picked up a dog or a cat and you got a couple pieces of fur on your clothing. He notices there's a couple long ones on the bar and looks around oddly, but sees Bootsy sitting and enjoying her beer across the bar, and he wipes the bar down quick. Wow. I'm so sorry about that. Thank you for protecting us, and let's get you healed up, sir. I've got this here, and he pulls out a large glowing vial, and the vial looks to be, as you'd expect, a greater health potion. And he begins to pour it into a glass, and he looks at you. I saw you were adding something to your drink. I can add something behind the bar. Is it a whiskey? Another sort of additive you wish?
I think the tower's on the floor at this point. He's just laying on the floor after getting dropped by the T-Rex. So he's just like on his back, and he's like, no, just I'll take it straight. Just pour it over here, please.
So he quickly hands the mug across the bar with the greater health potion in it to someone to.
He's on the
help
floor,
get it
like
down
he's
to him.
expecting someone to pour this in his mouth. He's like not moving. He's just on his back.
I'll grab it and walk over. Oh, okay.
The turtle.
I walk over and pick up my dagger
Okay.
off the ground. But again, it's like only the top half of me bends the whole way over to get it. And while I'm down there, I look over and just like lock eyes with the tower. Go, oh, yeah, I see. Your job get bit by dinosaur. Our job kill it. Yeah.
As everything starts to quiet down, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was like crazy, you guys.
The tower, you get 16 points of health back from that potion.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Bootsy
that
has
was
commentary.
pretty crazy. Bootsy, just out of curiosity, I feel like we still haven't really learned what it is you do. What with you not fighting a T-Rex?
Just because you didn't see it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
All right, then by all means, describe it to me.
I'm good.
Yeah.
If I need to,
She is
if I need
good.
to explain it to you, then you probably already know, and I'm not going to tell you.
Oh yeah, I think I know. You're right. I'm pretty sure I know.
The tower
That's
from the
lying.
floor. She wasn't up here.
Oh, I know, buddy. Do you need a scarf?
Cover that
Dave got
spot
a
up.
scarf.
Look, it'll be fine. I actually probably have a few scarves extra. I was just making yours special, Dave.
Oh, okay.
You,
You're so tall, I figured it needed to be a little longer.
Yeah, very human gift.
Gifts.
What was that?
What?
I thought we were about to get some gifts.
Oh.
Yeah. So the barkeep,
oh yeah.
after all of the commotion, looks across the group and ensures that the small chest with all the vials is way out of his way as he gently places a few things on the bar top. He cleans the bar off a bit and sets the chest down. Each of the things he placed on the bar top is covered by a little bit of like a burlap cloth or covering. And he opens them individually and sets them out in front of the group. And as he's doing this, he goes, "So these are things that I've collected. I like to bestow gifts upon each of the adventurers to hopefully help them. I'm sorry, these are the remaining few, and I only allow one per adventurer. So let's go through it, and you may choose, and we'll let fate decide. So I've got some dice here," and he pulls out a handful of dice, and in a moment you'll each get to roll on who goes first, and we'll go through essentially initiative for who gets to pick what. So the first thing that he pulls out
Nice.
is a small hat, and it's got a little brim to it, kind of like a bowler's cap. But the hat seems to have a bunch of fur stuck to it, as if like it had been worn by cats, dogs, otherwise. And he brushes some of the fur off, and the fur just kind of magically reappears on this cap. He sets it on. And he goes, I don't tend to use these things, so this I think is the furry cap of furriness. It does something. I'm not quite sure. And this next one, he opens a small satchel. He sets a fairly plain looking key, but in the top of the key, where like a skeleton head or just an ornate design might be, there's a small coin that is spinning in place, and it doesn't seem to like lift it up when it's flat. It's just a very magical illusion. This key doesn't seem to work on any of my locks. It doesn't seem to fit into any of my locks, but maybe you'll find a space for it. And the next thing he pulls out is a jug, and it's kind of sloshing, and he's like, I've not figured out how to use this one, because it sounds like there's liquid, right? And he tips it upside down over the bar. Nothing. And sets it down. There's a small oil lantern he sets out, and it's got a big blue eye crystal on the front. This one, it shines brightly. An adventurer brought it in and traded it for a few beers and some food. It's a nice, pretty lantern. Pulls out one single stone. It's got a face on it, and it looks like the face is like whistling or blowing or whispering of some sort. I'm told this is some communication device, but I've only got one, so I don't know where the other is gone. Pulls out another stone. It looks like a head of a cat with green glowing eyes. This one is just pretty if you wish a trinket or something. And then finally he pulls out a tankard that seems pretty standard. And he sets it on the bar, and he dusts it off as like his instincts of a barkeep would. And he looks in it and he goes, well, I'm told my beer tastes flat when drunk out of this, but I had one patron drink 17 pints one night and walk out like he hadn't had much more than water. So I guess you could choose some of these. I know they're not much, but maybe they'll help you in your adventures. So before we roll initiative, if anyone has thoughts or anything they want to share, or if you're all going, ooh, I want to try that, cool. Otherwise, we can roll some initiative as to who gets to go up and just grab their thing first.
Can you do a quick list again?
Yeah.
It was the hat, the dice, and then next thing. Yeah.
We have a hat with like magical fur that continues to replenish on it. It looks like a bowler's cap. We have a key that's got a coin spinning at the top. Doesn't fit in any of the locks that this guy has chosen. We have a jug that seems to have liquid in it, but doesn't really pour anything out. We have a lantern with a blue crystal eye on the front. We have a single stone that was said to be a communication device, but we don't know where the other one is. We also have a stone that looks like a cat's head with glowing eye gems in it. Both stones are about the size that you could fit in a palm of a standard human. And then we have a tankard that the myth behind it is it makes the beer taste flat, and for some reason someone was able to drink a lot of beer and go home like they had just drank water. So let's roll some initiative. We're gonna fight these things. Snick, do you have
Real
something
quick.
to say first? Or is it
Well,
Nathan?
I just want to say that you said that the gentleman, the bartender, pulled out dice that we would all be rolling
Yeah.
to see who would go first, yes?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, well, as everyone, like, in-game, everyone reaches for a die,
Correct.
right? And I would like to go and look like I want to reach towards the pile as everyone else does,
Okay.
but I have my own die in my hand.
All right.
My lucky dice.
The dice on the table, you see a small pile. It's not like a massive amount, so there's probably about 7 or 8 at quick glance. So
Okay.
there will be a couple left over, but potentially if someone was counting, we don't know. But the barkeep sees all of you reach forward and roll some dice. We're gonna go highest to lowest, and we will re-roll on ties. Everyone, give me D6 rolls. I want to see who goes.
Just a straight D6.
Straight D6. Just straight
You
D6.
said
He gave you dice
initiative.
to roll.
I know. I was like,
Sorry.
I got a +10 initiative bonus, my man.
Oh,
Damn.
I choose not
Okay.
to roll.
It's the equivalent.
oh, you choose not to roll. All right.
So take
Uh,
what's last.
Nathan, is that a 3 or a 4 that you're holding up, or
I mean,
what is
it's,
your lucky die?
Let me check something really quick. I'm pretty sure it's a 6 though.
Okay. A 1. Lindsay, what'd you get?
A 2.
2. A 3. We have a 4 on what? Lauren. Okay. A 6 on
6.
Snick. Okay. So it looks like it's Snick, Zoe, the tower, Bootsy, and then Dave Bigman, and
No, that's a 6.
oh, it's a 6.
6. Yes.
Oh, that's a
Why it was
6.
this way, not this way.
Okay. We will go with the magical roll here as the die comes out shiny, and the barkeep goes, "Oh, I don't remember that beautiful die, but okay, whatever." Snick, which do you choose?
Well, I would turn to really quick. Darling, is there one that you were looking towards? Because I don't want to take one that you're wanting.
I'll follow your heart.
Follow my heart?
I have to look at this as like a Midwestern white elephant gift exchange.
Oh my gosh.
Where everyone's like, I want that gift. And then there's some weird trading and stealing rules. If you don't know, just look up a white elephant gift exchange. It's
Are we doing this white elephant for
lame.
real?
It's lame.
Or-
No.
Oh.
Yeah,
We're
stuff
not.
of nightmares.
It's stuff of nightmares. And for those of you who didn't experience it growing up, yeah, it's not fun.
Can I
Okay,
cast
but it is
detect
fun.
magic?
Isn't that a
Can
I
you?
cast detect magic. I can't.
It can be ritual, and it can be a spell slot, though.
This is a spell slot.
All right, spell slot casting. You want to
What do I-
detect magic.
Mhm.
You detect that
Specifically
all of
item.
you detect that all of these things have forms of magic on them. I honestly don't have the type of magic on each of them. I'm sorry, because I wasn't expecting a detect magic across the board. But you do notice that the hat seems to give off a magic that it might produce something. The key seems to give off a magic that it might interact with something favorably. The jug seems to seem like it might produce something as well. The lantern, however, seems to almost look back at you and see through you as you kind of detect its magic. The stone with the face on it, like it's whispering, has lines of magic that shoot out in all directions as if it's sending in different locations. The cat head stone just glows favorably and kind of gives you a warm feeling, like, ooh, I wanna touch that. It seems to like me. And then the tankard almost pulls in all of the magics, and as you kind of peer over and look into the tankard, the fine lines of magic that you see go into the tankard and just turn into almost a colorless dust. In some way, it takes magics, it takes things and minifies them, from what you can tell. So those are the things that you understand about all of these. But Snick,
Okay.
you are reaching for something.
I'm gonna grab. I like a good shiny thing, so I'm just gonna grab that cat-shaped thing.
The cat-shaped thing. So you get the stone, and as you pick it up, you feel like a happiness course through your veins. You have picked up a stone of good luck. So feel free to add that to your character sheet. It should be within the items of D&D Beyond. So next we have Dave Bigman, the natural real 6.
I want to hover my hand over the furry hat
Okay.
and watch everyone's expressions to see if
Across
anyone
the
wants
group?
the furry hat.
He looks like he's gonna grab it. Does anyone? Sir Tower, you're muted.
Tower, that was probably really fun what you said, but we don't know what you said.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
because I
we go.
muted so that I wouldn't disturb all of that. Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate that.
We're
No,
gonna
he
have
went
to
from
have
the floor to
signs
sitting
at mute.
to like sitting at the table because he's still kind of out of it. So I feel like he's just kind of stone faced, just
doesn't give a reaction. Does anyone else
Yeah.
react as
he's just exhausted.
anyone else react as the hand kind of hovers the hat?
I look bored.
No one reacts. All right. What do
Okay,
we
and
do?
then
I mean,
I
I've
hover my
already got
hand.
mine.
I hover my other hand over the key with the spinny coin thing in it, and I watch everyone.
The barkeep stands tall. You only get one.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then he like Dave kind of goes.
We can't hear you.
I would imagine we hear his stomach growling at this point too.
Yeah. Even his like knees seem to be clattering a little bit. He goes, you get like in the middle, his stomach gets real aggressive and agitated about things. And then he'll grab the key and go back and like sit back down, but he'll lean over to Snick and go, can Scarf have hat too?
I mean, yeah, I could look after I get the scarf done. I'll make you a hat, sure.
Okay. He'll just like take the key, pull his shirt out, and just drop it.
All right. Right now, you know nothing about this key. It's an unknown key. All right. So who was next?
Me.
Zoe, you're next. So you have the hat, the jug, the lantern, the one stone that's got the face on it, and the tankard.
I'm intrigued by the lantern. I'll go pick up the lantern.
All right. Perfect. As you pick up the lantern, you do notice that stone seems to be somewhat properly positioned at the front where you'd hold it up to almost shine like a beam from the front as you're shining it out. It does have a little bit of an enclosure on the back to really push forward all of the light. It's not open the whole way through. You don't know anything about the magical properties other than something with the stone could be in your favor. All right. I believe I don't have it written down here. Was it Lindsay or Austin next?
Probably
I think it was
Austin.
me.
I have a 2.
You have a 2? Austin
I had a
had
3.
All right, Austin, you have a
Yes.
3. What does the tower reach out and grab?
So he's gonna go.
I was gonna say there's the hat, the
Refresh
jug.
my memory.
There's the hat, the jug, the one stone with its missing other, essentially,
And the beer
Mhm.
tankard.
and the beer tankard. Yes, thank you.
I have a list.
Lindsay's keeping me honest.
I think he would go to the jug,
The jug. All right.
and
As you
he'd like grab the jug and kind of shake it, and look inside.
It
I'll let you-
seems like there's something inside, but as you look in, the little bit of light that you're able to get in there doesn't really show much.
Mhm.
You don't see any reflection of a liquid. And even more so, it doesn't really have a smell of any sort coming out of it either. So either there's water in there or there's a weird trapping of something in a compartment within.
So he'll turn around, glance at the lantern, see if like anything new has happened as Zoe picked it up, and like if anything changed, and then he's gonna go back to his seat. And like still puzzling over this jug and how it's making liquid sounds.
All right. So you've taken the jug. We go to Bootsy.
I just sit there and a raven flies in and picks up the stone and brings it back to me.
Yes, there was an open window. So a raven flies in through an open window.
Well, it doesn't even matter. It's
Raven
my
flies into the
familiar.
window, smashes into the glass, and dies.
It doesn't matter. It's my familiar. It just appears.
It was
like,
Clorox.
Your
Or
familiar
Windex.
was out there. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your raven familiar flies in, and we didn't know about this until now. Picks up the stone that doesn't have a pair, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a stone without a pair.
I prefer
Then-
peaches anyway.
Oh.
Same.
Now,
Except canned pears aren't that bad.
the barkeep looks around the group. Well, it looks like it's your turn. Everyone else is chosen. We've got the hat
I've
and
been looking forward. Oh. Is an extra?
nope, sorry, I misspoke. We just have the hat.
No, there's the hat and the beer tanker.
No, the
Why?
tankard.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
I had that one crossed off.
Yeah.
That's why I keep.
There
Right,
you
so
He
go.
there's-
does the slowest game of Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo ever.
It's like watching the sloth in Zootopia.
Eeny, Meeny, Miny.
As you're doing
How's it
that,
going? Flash, flash,
As-
flash, 100-yard dash.
there it is. As you're doing that, beers get placed in front of everyone else, and the barkeep even pours himself one and just drinks patiently. And he kind of leans over and looks at the rest of the group. You know, one of my most favorite patrons was a turtle. Took them 3 hours to order dinner one night. I had to keep some of my kitchen help around, and well, he was the best patron. Stayed all night, and we spoke for hours.
It was
I want to throw
probably
something out there.
Okay.
If we all get tankards of ale, the tower's gonna take the jug and like try and pour some in his and just see what happens.
You're trying to pour something into your ale.
The jug.
into his
No,
jug.
yeah, just like tips it over
He
the ale
picked the
just to see
jug.
if something comes out.
Yeah. All right. Are you saying anything, doing anything, or just pouring to see? Just
No, I'm just grabbing the jug and holding it upside down over the tankard.
at this point, a couple drips of what seems to be a frothy beer come out, but not enough that like you're pouring it out with intention, just like you're ending the last of what could have been in there. But the jug still sloshes as if it's like half full or 3/4 full.
I have thouts. I'll let finish his turn and then
10
maybe delve
minutes.
back in.
Later,
He has a
You were
mug.
You
doing-
leave
cat.
alone.
has picked up the
Um's a
tankard. Huh?
delight.
I agree.
Stop picking
the
on
tankard.
All right, you pick up the tankard, and the barkeep goes, "Oh, all right. Well, I'll give you your first fill." And he gently pulls
If
it
I
from-
want a hat, apparently he can make me one.
The bar-
Report to Nathan's character.
the barkeep
Right,
just shakes his head and puts the hat back in the burlap bag and puts it under the bar, and he gives you your first fill free of this tankard. And as you get it back, your first sip, it's actually very bland. It almost feels super watered down.
Water.
No, that's my strongest ale. I just tapped that.
Water.
Well, if that doesn't knock you on your back, I'll give you another
Shell.
fill for free in a little bit. Shell, sorry. Well, I'll give you another fill for free when you're done with that one. But you only get 2 from that tankard. But
It's wonderful. No need.
okay. And the barkeep looks across the group, and then he reaches over to the small chest and pulls out a single vial that's empty. Who's going to hold on to the first vial if you wish to take it into the forest?
Pete reaches over and grabs it. Oh, sorry, that's my raven.
Pete?
Yeah, it's short for PETA.
Of course, because Katniss.
So Pete reaches over and just like grabs it with his beak and holds on to it. Okay. So the raven that's sitting on the bar grabs the vial and is holding it there. Well, do you know which feat you're gonna go after first?
Mountain.
I feel the kingdom would probably be worth our first priority.
Agreed.
Treasure Mountain.
If you're just saving the kingdom
It's a
to save
treasure
the people,
kingdom.
they're probably already dead.
We don't know that.
That's why I said probably.
It's true.
I'm
Well-
just happy to be here.
I must say that if you're not all in accord as you walk into the little forest there, you may find yourself not on the right path.
Oh, you shouldn't have said
All right,
that.
so if 3 of us think of one place and 3 of us think of the other place, then 3 of us can go save one group and 3 of us can go save the other group.
We don't know what the effect is, even if 5 of us think of one
That's
thing and
true.
one of us think
This-
of something else.
This might be a good time to tell you, Dave Bigman is not brain well.
Normal.
It's not
Brain well.
Oh.
I rude again. Tower rude. Very judgy all time. Don't like.
No, I would certainly
That
love.
second time. Some people different. Him turtle. Her cat. Them goat.
Goat.
Only you, me,
Hold on,
human.
only half goat.
Yeah.
We don't discriminate.
I didn't know half goat thing. Okay, now no. Wrote down no thing. Maybe not judge.
Maybe what he's saying is he may not be as smart as he would like to be. And because of that, he's saying maybe the rest of us should decide.
The raven flies over and tries to give Dave the vial.
So Dave, you have a raven that's like poking you with a vial in its beak, as if it's like trying to give it to you, I guess.
Oh, okay. Dave, take. We'll put dinosaur in it.
No.
Pull the shirt out. Just drop it down the shirt.
Just drops it down the shirt.
Does it fall through the shirt?
It drops into the shirt and it just kind of gets eaten up. It's gone. It doesn't hit the floor. It doesn't fall through the shirt.
How?
Why so scared?
Awesome.
Can't get back. Can't get back. Watch. And like almost instantly again, without really noticing where it come from, he's holding this vial. It's almost as if he has multiple hands. The only way that he could move his hands that quickly.
How does he not have to roll on this?
You are an interesting and curious creature, and I enjoy your company.
I just remembered something that I forgot. And now it all makes sense.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Yep.
Now you've broken Lindsay. You've each broken one another tonight. Session 0, where my players actually TPK one another. Whoops.
Yeah, it's true.
with laughter.
With laughter.
No, this whole time this whole time I've been picturing this super gangly. No.
That's what you're supposed to picture.
Earlier I was like 130 pounds. What the actual frick? For 6'8". Are you kidding me?
It finally set in.
Yes.
It's been a day. Allergies.
That's
Oh
amazing.
my gosh.
That's amazing.
Look, here's all I'm saying, folks.
All of the people
Golden-
watching are super confused right now.
Oh, I know.
Wait.
But
wait.
I'm not anymore. But I'm not anymore, and that's all that matters.
Golden
That's
Kingdom, shouts one of the party.
Yes.
I'm just saying, a whole kingdom of gold. If we save it, they gotta give us at least a couple buildings.
Why don't we take all the mountain? Mountain bigger than kingdom.
Well, we don't know if the
What
whole
is it?
mountain is full of gold, or if it's just a cave that has gold in it. And it could be
Man
a
said
smaller-
mountain of gold.
Right, but again, I don't think I can punch a ghost.
Ghosts are not the best fit for our fighting, or lack thereof.
Look, let's run it down real quick. I am really good at punching things. She could do some magic. Yeah, that could hurt a ghost, I'm sure. You, Mr. Big Man, it looks like you stab things, and unless you've got the most magical blades in the
Sword
world-
hurts ghost. Sword hurts ghost. And I'll pull the sword out and you see it like RGB cycle.
Basically.
Like I'm a pro
yeah.
gamer.
His pro
He's
gamer
got a
sword.
magic- Looks like he's got a magical
Pro
weapon.
gamer
The druid obviously can do some magic.
With
The
my sword and
tower-
magic helmet.
Keith is just gonna stand there and hope he doesn't get hit. I think that's just what he does.
They'll go right through him.
They'll just go through the shields at him, and then again, Bootsy still she's got a raven. We've learned that much.
And
That's
a
pretty
couple
much-
beers.
And a couple beers, more beers than I've had time to drink. So
Profiling is wrong.
it's not
But observance
profiling; it's
is not.
deductive reasoning.
Power of observation.
That one too.
Okay.
I'm not going to the ghosts.
Well, let's just jump in the portal and see what happens.
Famous last words.
Hmm.
What?
Silly.
Yes,
You certainly
We
have the
should.
most experience of all of us, as the one who has spent more
I
time,
am
I believe.
a ripe 47 years old.
You gotta give him time to talk. We gotta give him enough of a break so that he can get in. All right, so
Of
everyone
course,
shush.
Of course.
Nuts.
We should agree on one path, so we are united as a strand of rope and not measly strings.
Brr, brr, brr.
Deep thoughts.
I'm sitting here like, was that the end of it or is there more?
And
Is it
then
fair?
just to make sure you know, he goes,
Is it fair that I'm picturing the Kung Fu Panda turtle?
Uber is a strong resource for me to draw upon because I
Perfect.
love
I
him.
thought you were just
and I will-
modifying a Xerxes
Yoda.
from Dark Crystal.
It's pulled from a lot of things.
Got it.
I have lots of friends to thank for this character.
I guess we do
he's
too then.
culmination.
Amazing.
Oh, I'm happy you like him. Yes, just that's how he feels.
I like all
So,
of these characters.
They're all so
Which-
good.
Which would you recommend?
Me?
A moment.
I have not eaten enough candy in my life. I would like to fight a candy fish.
I would be honored to fight a candy fish with you.
Wait, hold on. Can I just paint this picture though? Again, I punch things. I can run fast on land. How do you think I'm gonna swim out there and punch it and then come back here? Like,
It's
I'm
a
fine if you want
sea
me to
of
get around on
candy.
shore.
It's not
I
a
can
real
help.
sea.
Dave Bigman can't even swim.
I could help you. I could let you walk on the candy water.
But fish is in water.
How do we know it's water? It's a candy sea.
Maybe it's syrup. Ooh.
But then the question would be big: if you could cast a spell to make me walk on water, does the same property apply to syrup, or is the spell specific to the water itself?
I believe it works with liquids. Liquids.
I'm just saying there's a lot of variables out there. Ghosts and swimming aren't necessarily up my alley, but finding a
promise
gold
you.
city... Yeah.
Your punches are strong. You could give a ghost what for? A tit for tat? A punch punch?
The end.
The bartender, meanwhile, is continuing to fill his beer and just like watching very wide-eyed, as if he's regretting the group that was invited to this.
But
yet
if there
loves
are human lives at stake here, is that something we're all willing to risk? Well, not necessarily human. Looking around the group, he's like, it's not. We don't know the species of. There are lives at risk here.
There are?
But man said
They told us.
many years.
We don't know that for sure.
But we don't know.
But there is one place that at least had humans, or or
Haven't you ever heard of mountain people? Or people who live by the sea?
there were beings in this kingdom.
There were bees.
Beings.
Ooh, I love bees.
Beans.
Essential to ecosystems.
Beans?
Oh my gosh.
Bees. Buzz,
Well-
buzz.
Thanks for the trinket. I'm out.
The party dissipates and it's just and sitting there and fighting it out. That's the next 6 episodes, everybody. Contemplating where we're going between two.
I would like to go to the Gold Kingdom, as much as I love sugar.
Gold Kingdom.
I'm with the satyrs on this.
I am fine with any of them. I simply presented my opinion.
When we get back, I'll buy you all the candy you want.
Ooh, yum.
Yum.
Look, okay. Dave, Bigman will go with group, but you choose wrong. It's wrong answer.
Look, if Barkeep over here had said, here's a couple of magic mittens that helps you punch things, then yeah, I'd go with you to fight a ghost, but I just don't think I'm going to be good fighting a ghost.
Oh,
Your
how big is
flurries
loot
are
you
magical,
play?
are they
Small
not?
loot, big loot?
Wait, are my furies magical?
You
Because
listen,
they're key
you listen, we got
empowered.
that smallest
Yeah.
loot playing for you.
No violence, just loot.
Maybe.
I don't, wait.
He's playing the smallest.
I don't believe they count as magical.
No. I don't
I think
at
it's
some- at
key
one point
empowered
they do.
attacks might.
It may
yeah,
be
but-
in higher levels, that's true, but I don't know if at this point
I don't
Flurry of Blows
think...
would be a
I
magical
even
weapon.
had an extra attack. I could have taken.
6th level.
I don't think they're magical.
So
So
I
right
think,
now, I don't believe I could punch a ghost.
Maybe
They
later,
are.
but not now.
They are. Key empowered strikes are considered magical for the purposes of overcoming resistance and immunity.
there you go.
Sage
Wait.
advice.
Key empowered.
Key empowered
Wait,
strikes.
wait,
So your
wait,
regular
wait.
attacks won't be, but
Because Fury of Blows is key
I mean,
empowered.
that would make a difference.
yeah.
Okay, if I had known that, I might have not argued. Well, now I have to say. Now I have to say the part.
Now the principal's out there.
Otherwise, we just spent 40 minutes doing nothing.
I'm so sorry.
Seriously, where in the blue blazes it say that in my D&D Beyond?
Well, I guess here's the thing. Snake, you haven't
DM ruling,
punched.
yeah.
You haven't punched a ghost or anything else. So, to your knowledge, you didn't know that you might be able to do that, and your turtle friend, in his sage wisdom, has opened up that opportunity for you. But because you've never punched a ghost, I'm sure you'd probably still favor what you considered before, anyways.
All right, I'll go with that.
Because if it doesn't say it in your D&D Beyond, you can go read about it, because Nathan's a little worried that someone else is providing chaos.
No, not more.
All right.
Well, I've cast my vote.
It seems
What
like
about
most are
you,
in
miss?
favor. Oh, they look at Bootsy.
I'll jump in the portal with everyone else.
Is the portal open currently?
Well, it
Oh no, it
seems
opens
that
at midnight.
we're only about
That's right.
5 minutes away, so you may have time for one more beer or some chatter before you go into the portal. Otherwise, anything we can do to make sure you're patched up, the tower.
Some rest would be good. The drink that you have provided was certainly very helpful. I may be able to do some patching myself. Is there anything else that you have at this establishment that might be able to avail me of some health?
As he looks around, he comes up from under the bar. These aren't much, but I do have a couple good berries back here, so you might get a little bit of health back, but not enough to say so.
Those are only one, aren't they?
Yeah, they're only one, but they don't.
I think he'll still pop one in his mouth and like.
All right, so as you pop the good berry.
About more though. I'm pretty full.
Yeah, you are full. You taste all of the berries in one combination, and you feel
That sounds
slightly
amazing.
revitalized. Yeah, so you've gotten a little bit of health back. I don't think Barkeep has anything else for you, unless the party has stuff they've purchased or found in town.
Not
That they
I
want to
can
share with
heal you
at least.
if you are in dire need.
Not dire.
I was
need
attempting
at the
to save
moment.
my strength for the journey, but I can.
I think that would be wise. Where will the portal open? If you could lead me to that point.
Well, you just walk out the back door, and he pushes open the kitchen door, and the staff in the kitchen is already like cleaned up, and they're standing in a row, and there's a very small creature at the end of the row holding the door open. And from what you can tell out in the darkness, it seems to be a kobold that's holding the door open, and you see a little hand wave in at you, and you see woods out behind the inn here. The barkeep looks at you and looks across the group. When you're ready, just go into the woods and think of or shout or whatever you wish to do to make sure you get to the kingdom that you wish to be saving. From what I understand, the portal places you only about an hour's trek from where you need to be. Just a short distance, usually somewhere where you can see from like a hilltop or a tower top or whatever. At least that's what all these journals say.
Did you say tower? Sorry.
Well, hopefully the portal doesn't get terrible jokes and stack everyone on top of you, but
That would suck.
if so, my apologies.
Thank you for
I
your
pull out
guidance.
my lantern
sir.
and walk into the woods, like out the
As you-
door into the dark.
Yeah, as you pull out your lantern, you look to light it. There seems to be no oil within.
I just hold it out.
All right. The barkeep looks at you puzzled as you're holding an unlit lantern and gives you a small vial, very little, This should allow you to burn it for maybe an hour or so, but best of luck. So you've got about an hour's worth of oil to put into your lantern. The rest of the party, anything else you need before you hustle out the back door and into the woods?
I don't
just gonna
think
say
the
that-
tower needs. Go, Nathan. Oh,
No.
I don't think the tower needs anything. He's going to go to the back door and just kind of take a knee, do some praying before heading into the portal. So he's going to be at the entrance, just kind of meditating and praying.
All right. Up ahead, the woods seem to be mere normal woods. It's dark. You see a couple fireflies throughout. But after the tower gets down and starts praying before you all enter to the woods, you see some flashes of light in there as like pink and purple and blue glows as if there's magical fireflies and sparks hitting. Nathan, did you have something?
Sorry, I was just gonna say that I wanted my dice back. I probably would have done that in all the.
Oh yeah. You can grab the dice. The barkeep hasn't really paid much attention to the few die on the tabletop.
I light
Nice.
my dancing lights and skip into the woods, ready for an adventure.
Into the woods.
And I dance with the fireflies.
All
And
right.
home before dark.
I guess
The
ev-
woods are just trees. The trees are just
The trees
woods.
are just woods.
I guess everybody is going into the woods together. The tower, did you get a couple minutes of prayer, or do you need like 15, 20 minutes? What is your
Oh no, it's
ritual
not.
there?
It's not a like. I'm not casting a ritual
Okay.
spell or anything. He's just taking that moment to center down, and it's just a character moment, not a
Oh.
like ritual or anything.
All right. So you hurl out a few Hail Marys to make sure you get there very quickly as the rest of the party
That's fair.
scuffles past you. And as they all start heading into the woods, do we have any rank and file, or are you just all kind of heading in as is?
Question,
Feel like-
Sergeant.
Yes, Hoy.
Did I get my dishwater to go?
Yeah. As you're walking through the kitchen, the young man that brought the tankard out to the table hands you a small satchel that seems to have a couple wooden tankards with a little wooden lid kind of secured to them. You'd think you've got 3 or 4 mugs of dishwater with you.
Cool. I draw my bow and I follow these people.
All right. Party, as you're going in, the sparks kind of blast up around you, and the woods seem to go on forever. Not like what you expected from surveying the island when you were on the shores of this little lake. And as you walk through and the woods begin to lighten up as if you're walking into daylight, there's a sweet smell in the air. A very light pink glow comes through the trees up ahead. And as you walk forward through these trees, you step out into the grass, and from the hill that you're on, the grass is a light pink, and the skies have a light pink cloud floating through. You can tell you're not in Kentucky anymore.
Oh, I love the Fae.
Now,
Feels like home.
this land is wildly different, and for first timers in this part of the Feywild, it's even more different than other parts of the Feywild. It's very picturesque as what one young princess might have drawn her magical kingdom to be, or one young prince, whoever it may be, with bright pinks and purples and hues across. The trees, as you turn around, actually have purple leaves on them instead of green like you'd expect. And from this hilltop, you look down, and in a distance that seems to be actually quite a bit longer than an hour's trek, off to your right, you see a divot in the ground, much like what was described to you. But off to your left, you see that there's yet another thing here. And as you look off to the left, there is a creepy looking mountain, very cartoonesque in style. Very sharp, jagged rocks go straight up into the air, and around the top of the mountain, you see what seems to be ghosts kind of floating around in circles. That seems to be a couple hours trek as well. There seems to be some discord that have been sewn into the group. So you're between two of the objectives that you could go to. The creepy haunted mountain and the stolen kingdom. And we're gonna cut a little early tonight, or actually right on time tonight, with the start, where at the start of our actual season here, well, I guess this was the actual season.
Yeah.
You guys got together really nicely. The session
that
0
worked
turned
well.
out pretty good. We didn't have to like go over rules and tell Nathan to keep quiet because all he has is dad jokes, and to tell Austin that he can't laugh at every single dad joke because they're not that funny.
They are funny.
Technically, they're my mom joke.
No, dad jokes are funny. When Nathan delivers them.
They're hilarious.
Okay, first off, I am a trained comedian. I know all about timing.
I think.
That one got me.
Oh my. Well,
Yes! See?
well,
I love it.
we will be back in 2 weeks' time with more shenanigans in this Feywild rendition, and the party gets to choose between the two objectives that were on the minds of those going in. And we'll see how that plays out and what they get to do with shrinking the baddie, whoever it may be. Like I said, we are playing for 2 months. We're playing March and April. We'll be playing the 1st, 3rd, and most likely the 5th, the magical 5th that we get on one of those 2 months. So keep an eye out, keep an ear out. We'll be around on socials. You can catch us on podcast. And yeah, otherwise, enjoy your weekend. And I don't know about you, but I'm going to have to... Bank holiday Monday, woo, if you're in the States. But I'm gonna have to go like take care of my face. I was laughing too much tonight. You guys.
Yeah, fix your
it
face,
hurts.
Thornton.
Yeah, I gotta fix my face.
Wow.
Next week, I'm wearing a paper bag because apparently.
I'm not
yeah.
famous anymore.
Apparently not. Boy, do we have anyone to raid?
Yeah, we're gonna go visit the Dat Network.
Perfect. The Dad Network, where
I love them.
oh man, there's a lot of our people that are watching and involved with the DAT Network. So just check out all of the schedule. You'll probably see some of these lovely faces there again soon. Yeah. With that,
Is that a conflict of interest?
no, it's not.
No.
We're saying, hey, go
all in the
watch.
family.
We've got a lot of people that do a lot of things.
Yeah, not everyone's into everything,
Come on.
so we give them options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
If they stuck with us for some time, it's a detox. They get to go to
Well,
whatever.
you see how well we do with options.
We're in the woods. We've already eliminated one.
Yeah.
We got somewhere.
Well,
we are somewhere.
Undeniably.
Surprise.
There you are.
Everywhere is
There you
somewhere.
are.
yikes. Well, everyone join that train out of here, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks. Bye. Bye. It's gonna go to a timer, but it's not really coming back.
Okay, goodbye.